Good morning, people. It is Thursday, the 31st of October. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. I am one of your lovely hosts today, Martin Royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That's right. Oh no. I was going to say, Brent, how are you?
I am blessed and highly favoured. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm okay, actually. I'm low vibrational today, to be fair.
All right. Okay.
Trying to keep it 100.
We are going to keep it breezy. We're going to keep it breezy. What did I hear about, what's that artist name? She wants to quit.
It's in Word on Road.
Ah,
my
serious?
favourite, Ari Lennox.
Ari. Is it Dreamville?
Ari Lennox, Dreamville.
This is going to be so interesting.
It is very interesting.
Oh, my God.
Love me some Ari. Love her down. She's just amazing, man. She's got like that proper soulful church voice. So, yeah, but she does basically want out of her contract. And it's interesting because she signed to J. Cole, obviously. So now he's catching strays. But it's interesting, do you know what it is? When artists are the ones who... Because do they own it? But obviously people see them as the face of it. It's like Chloe Bailey. She also has basically talked about how her label is not supporting her. They're not trying to market. They're not trying to do these things. They're not put her on tour opportunities, whatever. She signed to Beyonce's label, Parkwood. So whenever stuff like this happens, it falls back on the celebrity that obviously owns the label. But with Ari's one, she said Dreamville and Interscope. I think Interscope and Dreamville, I don't know whether they're together or something like that. But my nails.
Yeah. Talk to me.
About what? My nails?
Yeah. So
very
basically,
pretty, aren't they?
I always thought that women, like, they match their nails with something that they're wearing.
Okay.
And obviously, I used to, but I
You
didn't
know rich
realize
women.
It's rubbish.
It's not rubbish, not necessarily rubbish, because some people do. Some people do, but not everyone does. Like, I wouldn't. Yeah.
And those are your nails, isn't it?
They are my nails.
That's crazy.
But I basically, underneath they're brown, and I wanted like a glazed brown situation. While I was sat there, we decided, let's actually put pink chrome over it. So now it's like a holographic thing. So depending on what angle, I mean, it looks brown in the camera, but actually, if you look at it, well, it looks brown in the camera, so I can't really do anything about it. But it looks pink as well sometimes, and it looks green. It's very autumn-y, actually. Like, it looks like the leaves are falling a bit.
You know, I laughed when you told me that, like, you actually need glasses and you don't wear glasses. That does not look brown on the camera. It looks like colour that's on your nails.
In the camera that I'm looking at here,
Yeah.
it looks like glazed brown.
What do I look like?
Huh?
What does my face look like?
It's your darker brown. With your caramel.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah.
And how much, like...
So these were £60.
That's your favourite nail tech?
That's my only nail tech. I've been going to for like 3 years.
Are they like barbers? And
But you got to be loyal.
Yeah.
If you got a really great one, like I've got a great one. So I've been going to for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
3, longest relationship I've been in. Actually, no. No shade is longest relationship I've been in. Then closely followed by her. But if you want to check her out, her name is ladywellnails.london. I always tag her, to be fair. If you go on one of my posts, she's definitely tagged.
Ladywell Nails.
Yeah, ladywell.nails. But she's absolutely amazing. So it's actually called a Russian manicure. I think she's Ukrainian, actually.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. Ironic. But yeah, it's called a Russian manicure. But it's really, really good. And these are my natural nails. And I keep cutting them and going short and da-da-da. And then they last about like 3-4 weeks. Well, 4 weeks. To be fair, 5-6 even. But I get bored. But it's always interesting. Women, like the things that women have to think about. Because obviously I'm going away. I'm going to Nigeria soon. So I have to like time it, my appointments. And it's just so, it's a real thing. It's a serious thing. I have to message my lash tech. Big up you, girl, if you're watching. But I had to. She always watches the show. But I had to like message her like, okay, so when are you going? Are you going on holiday? Because it's a date. Da, 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 da. And even like with my nails, I have to do in a time where it's just a whole thing. First world problems, of course. Because I know someone's gonna say something about that.
When are you going to Nigeria?
End of December.
Christmas.
I'm gonna be there New Year's. Yeah. I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
For me, Christmas is everything before we come back to reality. So I just New Year's is Christmas too. No. For some stupid reason.
Yeah, I like to give things their due shine. I just think after a long year, I think New Year's deserves a new year. But I actually can't believe that we're as far into the year as we are now.
Serious?
Yeah.
It just flew by for you.
It feels like it's gone quickly, but I think also as well, since COVID, I've had a hard time pinning what year was what, if that makes sense. But I don't know if that's just it's weird. It just feels like I feel like I've been living one. I told you that the other day. I've been tired since secondary school. It's my first day of year 7. So I just think this is just where we're at, really.
It gets worse.
It's crazy. I'm looking forward to my 30s though. Like I'm really looking forward to turning 30. Because I feel like my age in my 30s is gonna just be great. Like I'm looking forward to the woman I'm gonna be in my 30s.
Yeah.
Because when I think about how I was when my beginning of my 20s. And like how I am now, the growth, I just love it. So like I love growth. The growth is what keeps me going in life. Yeah. Like always thinking of how else I'm going to evolve. That's honestly what keeps me going in life. Yeah. So I'm so excited to meet the version of me in my 30s. Big up her. I know she's having a great time. I know she's having a wonderful time in life.
Amen.
So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Good morning, everybody in the chat.
Morning, y'all.
See who is here. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, Davina. Good morning, Natty, Yvette, Amy Snowglobe, Toby Sahid, Josie Oggers, Lala, Bex, Antonia Hansen, Izzy Bambino, Dr. Amani, 9 Ether. Good day, great topic question as they really think. If wasn't for empire, the global south would still be in darkness. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, TT. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Crud Crew. Good morning, I am Energy Bars. Good morning, Abimi. Good morning, Adele. Good morning, JW. Good morning, Dennis the Great. Good morning, Gin and Gist. Good morning, Abby Appiah. Good morning, Life of Bodge. Good morning, Curtis Jackson. JW, Exposure, Supermalt, Noreen, Andrew, and Grand Rising. Oh, and Chris Ogun. Good morning. As we're here, I have 2 events, 2 motives to plug. One being Stronger Than Before.
So,
are you stronger than before?
I'm always stronger than before by the grace of God.
Then you got a text message and you giggled.
You know I love that name, Leroy.
Yeah, because it's Jamaican.
I just love it. I don't know what it is. Leroy? Oh my gosh, that's reminding me. Someone said Jesus Christ the way you say Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
And I can't remember what it was. I think it was in church, you know. I think it was in church. For the life of me, I still can't remember who it was that said it. But I remember thinking, oh my God, Brent. I've been trying to remember all week.
I can't remember where I stole it from though. I stole it from somewhere. Jesus Christ.
Or maybe it was New Girl. Maybe I was watching New Girl. Have you watched New Girl?
No.
It's freaking hilarious.
Sure. What is it about?
It's a sitcom. It's basically friends that live in a loft together. And you know that it's just all kind of foolishness. Damon Wayans Jr. is in there. Damon Wayans Sr. and Damon Wayans Jr. got a new show I need to watch. I just love them. I wish Damon Wayans Sr. was my dad. I just love him so much. But he's like a dad and a zaddy at the same time. It's just crazy. But anyway, so it's got him in there. It's got a few people and it's like, you know those shows where there's just no limits?
Yeah.
It's like, and then one of the characters is called Schmidt. And he's Jewish.
Yes.
So there's just hella Jewish jokes in there. And then two of them are black, so hella black jokes in there. Yeah. The rest of them are white, so it's just hella white jokes. It's just, you know, there's like, it's always sunny in Philadelphia level.
Yeah.
But we toed the line a little bit.
Okay.
It's an old show, isn't it?
New Girl.
Yeah.
I feel like it's finished already. It's ended. It started a while ago.
It's centered around that white girl with like...
Yes, with the fringe and the glasses.
Yeah.
Jess, yeah.
And she was in... Why do I even know this? That film, is it like 300 Days of Summer or something like that?
I know. I think I know what it means because there's a lot of those kind of Sandra Bullock silly films around that time.
Exactly,
There's a whole, they were going for a whole thing. But yeah, it's really funny. It's actually really jokes.
The black guy's funny.
Yeah, it's really really it's actually a really good show. I'm watching that at the moment again, as I do. Sorry, as you were Leroy and them.
That's right. A men's health workshop, and it is on the 24th of November.
Oh, they're gonna say I interrupted an important segment. Can't bloody win, mate.
Next one up is Yoruba singles ready to mingle.
Do you know how funny this is? Do you know how flipping hilarious this is? Do you know what takes me out? It's the age range.
26 to 36.
It's so specific. Whose event is this?
I don't know.
Somebody in the community.
Whoever's event it is. I feel like you're 36. Or I feel like your type is men age 36. Or women age 36. Because you're not specific. You could even do 25 to 40. 26 to 36 is the most specific. This is an intentional thing. This is very lovely event. But this is a very intentional event.
So you think they've set this up so that they
For
can
themselves.
find
Something silly.
a loved one?
They 100%. I hope they do though. It'd be interesting if they haven't, if they're actually like married or taken. Because that'd be sweet. They maybe will come because they're tired of their friends talking to them about something. But this is a very intentional event.
Yeah.
Like 26 to 36 is the most specific number I've ever heard in my life. I love it though. I think it should have done to 40 though.
I think that a couple of people were asking in the chat, but how about if I want to get a Yoruba woman or a Yoruba man, can I attend it? I think you can attend it because that's where they'll be, right? But suppose all people who want Yorubas attend, but no Yorubas want to attend.
That's why it's
a trick.
That's why it's not for the people who are not Yoruba.
Yeah, because then, but yeah, the whole audience is non-Yorubas.
Exactly.
So how are we going to Yoruba mingle? How would Yoruba singles mingle?
If I were to identify as a Yoruba man, like what are the characteristics I need to display in order to trick you all?
Do you know what it is, about Yoruba men? You can't impersonate a Yoruba man.
No.
Because there's something about them that is just, it's an aura, it's an energy, it's something that God gave. It's a God-given thing.
Did you know that he was Ghanaian?
Yes.
How come?
Because, I don't know, I'm going to trouble last time, but he looks Ghanaian.
If I had asked a different question, did you
But
know he was Yoruba? Like,
no, but then when he started to speak, I just think, this is interesting. It's a very interesting Ghanaian.
oh, the thoughts that flowed.
Yes, I speak. This is a very interesting Ghanaian. Then I found out, obviously, he's a Yoruba man. I said, Abajo. It makes sense.
I just need to parrot what he would parrot.
No,
But you can't. You can't.
because there's a confidence in the bullshit that he does.
Oh, serious?
That's the confidence I'm talking about. No, you don't lack confidence, but
I like the confidence to chat.
do you know what it is? No, it's Delulu.
Okay.
Like Nigerians are Delulu, men and women. Everybody as a nation, Delulu. But it's like sometimes that Delulu comes with some kind of swag.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, we're here now.
Yeah.
So that's why you can't impersonate, because you will break character. Because as you start to say these things, you will laugh at how stupid it sounds. But Yoruba people are so convicted.
Straight face.
Babe,
100%.
convicted in what they're saying. Like, you can't tell them this doesn't make sense. They don't understand. They can't comprehend what that means. Like, Nigeria is one of the poorest countries at the moment. But you can't tell Nigerians that they're not first. They live by Nigeriano, they carry last. When we're actually, in actual factual, carry last.
But do we?
But we are. See what I'm saying? We are. But,
Who's copying everything that we've got?
well,
The whole damn world.
well, it's not putting money in our pockets. So there's that too. Do you know what I mean? So there's a certain thing about Nigeria, but I think also as well, Nigeria just have this kind of like confidence / maybe arrogance. I don't know, just something. I love Nigerian men. Listen, because everyone that's going to the event, you're gonna have a great time if the men show up.
Would you recommend that I find a Nigerian woman to marry, Manuel?
Depends what you can do, though.
How do you mean?
What
What?
the hell?
Yeah. In terms of like,
Love her.
no, I forget all that stuff. I'm talking about like, I'm talking about like.
See what I'm saying?
I'm talking about.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I didn't even finish my sentence.
No, I'm talking
And he's
about.
like, forget that.
I'm talking about like in terms of the culture. Will she cease being a Yoruba woman? Would her kids cease being Yoruba woman after that?
No?
Are you sure? Because basically, I care about the continuing of the culture. So if that will not continue, then you know what I mean.
So you're saying you're only going to ever have Yoruba children. So anybody you get with, they're only going to be Yoruba because you want to continue that particular lineage.
Yeah, but that would happen automatically because the man is Yoruba.
Oh, so it doesn't matter about the woman.
What do you mean? As in,
I told
if
you
the man
I
is
wanted
Yoruba,
to be
it's
coupled
different
with a Nigerian woman. That's how
I'm
I
saying.
started
It's
this.
different because obviously in our culture, the woman essentially goes to the man's side, isn't it? You're married into the family, she goes over to the man's side.
Remember, I started this by saying, hey, would you recommend me marrying one? And you said it depends on what you're going to be doing. And then you started saying, is she going to, are the children going to be such and such?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, if she goes over to your side, then the kids might identify as being a Trinidadian.
So she can get with a man that isn't Nigerian and their children still be Yoruba.
I mean, depends on the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have to be someone who's so fiercely you have to be like a Christy. You have to be like an Esther. You have to be like, okay, this is what I am. Nothing changes that. My kids identify as that. But then you may get conflict. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you don't want conflict.
But I feel like someone like Brent, though, like, whoever he ends up with, like, that even if you marry a different culture, your children are still going to be strong in their Trinidadian heritage because you're very strong in that. So someone like you, yeah. I mean, I think, personally, I think your destiny is a Yoruba woman, actually.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, I strongly believe that.
Why?
I don't know, I just feel
I said why like it was some sort of insult. It wasn't.
No, I didn't feel insulted. So I'm telling you about Yoruba confidence. Can't feel insulted. I don't know, I just feel like, yeah. But I feel like also kind of woman, I see you with a very cultural woman.
Yeah.
So whatever culture it is, she's grounded in her culture and who she is. And I know that you're going to like impart that into your children. Actually, I see. I think I can imagine in my head what your wife looks like.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Take me there.
Okay. I think she's very, very gorgeous. Okay. Don't ask me twice. I think she's really like absolutely gorgeous. I think she's got very like beautiful, like buttery skin, like just glowing. I see her with very, very healthy natural hair, and she rocks her natural hair like a lot. Almost like she's like AI generated. I feel like that's like, I feel like I can see that. And she's just very, very confident, very confident, very strong, but also like very patient, very loving, very caring. But then also like someone that's like, she makes you better in everything that you already are. So whatever it is that you do, like she's so talented, so skilled, there's nothing she can't do. Like a black Mary Poppins.
Oof.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a
And
song.
she's gonna be tall.
Oh, she's gonna be tall.
Yeah, but not like as tall as you, because you're very tall.
Yeah.
But like tall enough.
Yeah.
She's not like short.
Yeah.
And I actually see her slim.
Oh, you.
Please.
It's got myself.
Slim, yeah. Yeah. Gosh. And she can deal with this foolishness. Yeah, I can see her slim. Yeah, slim, tall, like average height for a woman. No, taller than, just a little bit.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'3".
So she's like 5'8", 5'7".
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Slim, again, buttery skin. I can actually just see it in my face, in my head.
Oof. Love it.
Mine she's the opposite. That'd be crazy.
Snapshot, and then we'll see later down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it is at my wedding, let's see if it is that
If I nailed it.
Yeah. I want that to be part of the little speech that you give.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to choose you to also say some nice words.
Oh, I was going to choose you to say some nice words at my wedding.
Oh, thank
you. Because child, Lord knows you've been there through some shit. Look at God.
All right. Obviously, you've been blessed enough to see Emmanuel's wife. If it is that you didn't see his wife, what would you have pictured her to look like?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I would definitely expect to be a Yoruba woman. So I'm not shocked by that. I definitely would have seen a Yoruba woman. It's difficult because I know what she looks like.
Yeah. Oh, it's difficult for you to...
Yeah, it's difficult, yeah.
Fair enough. So
you didn't have a few years ago.
You didn't have an opinion before you had met
No,
her?
I feel like she matches what I expected.
Ah, okay. Fair.
I just know that man wants a Yoruba woman.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I imagine that she would have had to be someone who can tolerate this. So, big up, sis.
On the way. All right, I have one more event to plug.
Oh, before you do that.
No,
let
I
me-
didn't say. Sorry, Brent's. When I said bottomy skin, no, she's not light skin. She's dark skin.
Oh, is that what people thought?
Bodge said Esther said light skins and slim and natural hair only. No. I can see Brent with a chocolate woman. But that's why her skin is like glowing.
You see how she just said chocolate? I'm not allowed to say chocolate.
No, you can say chocolate. No, you can say chocolate. I said I don't like when men refer to me as chocolate.
Alright.
But it tends to be Italian men. I wouldn't call me food. If a black man calls me chocolate, fair. I don't want him to drool over me.
Bella.
But it tends to be like white men calling me chocolate, and I'm just like, stop.
Relax.
I'm not food.
We don't need that in there.
You will not eat me.
Did you
So-
just say before you start? Was it you that said to me?
Oh yeah. I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
read out what Demi said. So basically, where was it? He said, once a child is born to a non-Yoruba man, according to custom, they're not from Yoruba land anymore.
Oh, shut up.
You know what I'm saying?
Custom is silly.
But you get with the point.
Yeah, but that's
You know
how
what
I've
I'm
ordered there
saying?
because
No, because you come from your man's lineage, isn't it? That's pretty much how it's kind of seen.
to be fair, there was some kind of family wars when I wanted to change my last name, Chow. I ain't never been someone that follows customs that I don't agree to. So that ended how it ended. That's silly. But I guess, to be fair, because they do prioritize men over women, which is ironic.
It's even in the Bible too.
What?
Yeah.
When
You're from the seed of your father.
well, yeah, the man's sperm.
No,
We also want your woman's egg.
as in that's your lineage. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't identify with the woman's lineage. You know what I mean? There's some
Fair,
obviously
you know,
there are
actually.
some cultures that are like that, but yeah, not.
You say that, but actually, do you know what God did? Can we think about how Jesus' lineage goes down?
Yeah.
You know, it traces down to what was that woman that's a prostitute that let the two guys in, Joshua and them?
Jezebel.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, no, not Hagar. Is it? No, the Hagar's
Not Hagar. I know you're talking about during the and they let them through the window and
yeah.
then, yeah.
Jesus' lineage actually comes through her. So when you read the Bible and you read Jesus' genealogy, actually there's women in there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
God knew people were making arguments like this in the future.
Oh yeah, there will be women in there, but it's still, you know what I mean.
But like, yeah, but it's ironic there because the seed of the man can only be because the woman was.
Oh, for sure.
So
And that's why you can kind of like, you can look at the what's it called, the mitochondrial relationship. That's basically what tells you how far you go back, because that remains the same, which is funny, like in genetics.
do you know what's
On
so
the woman's
interesting
side.
is that I could be sitting here right now with my grandma's egg in me.
What do you mean by that?
Like, so you know, like I'm sure it's women's eggs or something like that. How basically I think women can like. So sometimes the eggs that's in you is like generational, or so something in women anyway that it could be traced back to their
I think it's the mitochondria. I'm talking
Is it?
about. Yeah. And it just goes all the way back.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so sometimes like your kids will come out and they look nothing like y'all, but they look like your great grandma. Amazing. Wow, God is really detailed, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rahab, that's it. Thank you, Bolu. That's another Nigerian. Bolu Martins.
Typical one.
Well, because Martins.
Yes.
Nigerians love an S at the end of names, you know.
One is not enough.
I love it. It's never enough. Williams and that. All right.
That is not Yoruba customs. Don't bastardize our culture, E-man. Oh, shame.
What happened? Who's it
Shots
about?
fired.
Second, who's at that?
What happened?
Somebody who doesn't
Igloo back up.
normally post, so they
Somebody what? Sorry.
doesn't normally like type, so they're very, very vexed.
That is not Yoruba. First
Where
of all,
is
you
it? How
can't
come I
even spell
can't see it?
Yoruba, so how are we going to listen to you?
Where is it? Let me see.
Maybe you've hidden them.
Them bastardize
I've not hidden
our
nobody.
culture. Really? Igloo? The backup page? What's your original page?
All right. So let me just plug.
Daryl Blake.
Blacklisted has an event on
What age is this?
5th of November. Okay. And Daryl is literally going to walk through his journey of discovery, his lineage. Oop, what did I just put?
Oh, that's a good Tuesday.
Let me pop that on. Oops, there we go. I'm gonna put all of the links in the description and the first comment on this particular stream. Please check it out. I think today is the last day. Also, I think Ed just said to vote for Daryl, nominate Daryl for that particular award. I'll put that link down also so you can get your last votes in if you haven't done so already. All right, then. That's the admin done.
Cool.
Let's get into lest we forget.
Let's do it.
Is this the last day?
It's the last one, man.
Is it? Oh.
All of the branding goes back to normal tomorrow.
Happy Black History Month to you guys. As Brent said, it's the last day, man. But the people that we're going to big up today are definitely not the last in that list. They are legends, just as influential, in some cases, in many cases, more influential than some of the people that we've said already. But everyone, in some amazing capacity, has contributed to the betterment of black people and just the world at large. And the man that we want to big up today, some of you have heard me speak about him on the show every now and again, but I don't think you guys know him like that, you know what I'm saying? And maybe this might force you to do some research and whatnot. But this goes to the Honourable Elijah Muhammad. So he was born Elijah Robert Poole, October 7th, 1897 in Sandersville in Georgia. And he was an influential leader, a religious leader, and a long-time leader of the Nation of Islam. He was raised in poverty in the segregated South, and he moved to Detroit in the 1920s, where he eventually encountered W.D. Farad, who was later known as Master Farad Muhammad, who basically introduced him to the teachings of the Nation of Islam. It was actually his wife who actually went to these meetings and encouraged him to go, because at the time, the Most Honourable Elijah Muhammad was actually a drunkard. And, you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of things going on in Detroit at the time for black people. But she encouraged him. Eventually, he went there. And that changed life for him and changed life for black people in America as a whole. Elijah Muhammad became Master Farad's devoted follower and took on the mission of spreading the Nation of Islam's philosophy, which centered on black self-sufficiency, moral discipline, and the notion of black empowerment as a response to racial oppression in America. After Master Farad's departure, the Most Honourable Elijah Muhammad became the leader of the Nation of Islam in 1934 and guided it for over 4 decades and transformed it into a prominent black nationalist and religious organization. Under his leadership, the Nation of Islam grew rapidly, attracting prominent figures like the legendary Malcolm X, Malcolm El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, and of course, Muhammad Ali, of course, the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of course, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, and he developed economic programs, educational institutions, and a unique cultural identity for black Americans. Elijah Muhammad's significance lies in his impact on black empowerment in America. His teachings emphasize the need for black Americans, black people, to separate themselves from oppressive systems, urging economic independence, community building, and self-respect. While some of his views, to some people, are controversial, he did play a crucial role in shaping the civil rights era. He was put on the list by the by COINTELPRO as potentially one of those black messiahs that black people were looking for to basically lead them out of the oppressive world that they find themselves in. He also inspired generations of black Americans, black people, period, and influenced the broader black power movement. Why is he important? What were some of his significant achievements in terms of transforming, I guess, the reality of black people? Like I said, he promoted economic self-sufficiency. Prior to him, the only person that was really talking about it on that scale was the Honourable Marcus Garvey. But yeah, like I'm saying, the Most Honourable Elijah Muhammad emphasized black economic independence. He urged NOI members and the broader black community to establish and support black-owned businesses. Same thing that we've been saying today. The NOI created several successful enterprises, including grocery stores, restaurants, farms, schools, universities. This economic approach empowered black communities to reduce dependence on white-owned institutions and build a more self-reliant community. He also, like I said, recognized the need for education centered on black culture and values. Elijah Muhammad established schools, Muhammad University of Islam, for example, that provided students with an education that was tailored to their cultural heritage. These schools instilled discipline, cultural pride, and self-confidence in a lot of black Americans, which was an alternative to the often biased public school curriculum. Same thing like Lavinia was talking about the other day. His teachings encouraged black Americans to see themselves with dignity and worth, counteracting the negative racial stereotypes that they face pretty much on the daily. He promoted principles of respect, cleanliness, discipline, and moral responsibility, helping to build a sense of pride and identity in the black community. Here's some of the some quotes that he said. There's a plethora of them, but I'm just going to give you just a few. And he basically said, "A nation can rise no higher than its women." So you may have heard someone like Farrakhan say this, someone like Malcolm X say this, but this came from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. A nation can rise no higher than its women. He also said, "Knowledge of oneself makes a man refuse to be a slave." And he also said, "You don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water. Just put a clean one beside it." That's all you need, man. You don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water. Just put a clean one beside it. And the last thing I'll say is he said, "I want my people to know that they are better than they think they are." So big up the legendary, most honorable Elijah Muhammad. The woman that I want to big up, another legend as well, a poetic genius, brilliant, beautiful mind, and her name is Nikki Giovanni. And she was born June 7th, 1943 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and she's one of the most celebrated poets, writers, and social activists of the 20th and 21st centuries. She grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and often spending time in her native Tennessee. Giovanni's experiences deeply influenced her writing. She attended Fisk University, where her early encounters with the civil rights movement shaped her voice as a poet and activist. She rose to prominence during the Black Arts movement of the 1960s and 1970s. Look into that, guys, when her work captured the emotional depth and intensity of the struggle for Black rights and liberation. Her poetry is known for its sharp wit, lyrical beauty, and unapologetic celebration of Black culture, love, and resilience. Giovanni's work tackles themes of race, gender, and social justice, but she also explores the complexities of human relationships and personal growth. Why is she important besides those things? Well, her impact is vast, right? She has not only inspired generations with her poetry and essays, but also contributed to the literary and cultural canon of Black America. She brings light to the Black experience, feminist issues, and themes of family and identity, helping to broaden the scope of American literature. Her voice has been crucial in the conversations around racial justice, love, and empowerment, making her an influential figure in both literature and activism. There's a beautiful dialogue. Some of you probably seen it already. It's been out there for decades now, between her and James Baldwin. Listen to that. You just hear brilliant minds talking. And here's a few quotes. She said, "Black love is Black wealth. And they'll probably talk about my hard childhood and never understand that all the while I was quite happy." She also said, "We love because it's the only true adventure." She also said, "Mistakes are a fact of life." True indeed, man. She also said, "Mistakes are a fact of life. It is the response to the error that counts." You know what I'm saying? Some things are not mistakes, though. People know what they're doing. But mistakes are a fact of life. It is the response to the error that counts. She also said, "I really don't think life is about the I could have beens. Life is only about the I tried to do. I don't mind the failure, but I can't imagine that I'd forgive myself if I didn't try." And the last thing she said, well, she said many different things, but the last thing I'll read is, "A lot of people resist transition and therefore never allow themselves to enjoy who they are. Embrace the change no matter what it is. Once you do, you can learn about the new world you're in and take advantage of it." So big up the legendary Nikki Giovanni and the legendary, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, man.
Big up them. Oh, bless her. All right, let's get into our headlines.
All right, before we jump in, I have some fantastic news that just came across my desk. You know how I get in real time
Oh, dear.
reports and that.
What's happening?
You got to look at the screen.
Okay.
Oh, who got engaged? Is it a lovely couple that we met on the tour? Orcs. Who got engaged?
A caller called in, I think it was yesterday the day before yesterday. When was Lavinia here? The day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Tuesday.
He was teacher. Myriad?
Mirad.
Yeah, Myriad.
Yeah.
He
Is
popped
he
the question.
engaged?
He popped the question,
Oh,
man.
big up
Mirad.
Mirad. You're definitely on egg now.
Big up.
Love an intentional man. Congratulations, Han. That is so lovely.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's a lovely ring
Those
too.
melanated. Oh, the ring, yeah. Ring's nice too. But the skin tones.
You're looking at the
It's black and black
skin
love,
tone.
baby.
You're an egg. You're an actual
congratulations.
egg.
Well done. And
Congratulations.
Well done. So amazing.
God bless your union. That is so beautiful, man.
So amazing.
I just love how intentional people are being about getting married and stuff. Like, it's just, I just love it. I love it so much.
They met in the YouTube chat. A little exclusive.
No, they didn't.
Allegedly.
Which YouTube chat?
This YouTube chat.
For
TDA? For TDA.
That's amazing.
This is what we're doing.
No, but is this legit?
Allegedly.
Who said allegedly? But who even brought that into it?
I just said it.
You were the alleged sayer.
I just said it.
You start making the stallions
I just said it.
bloggers.
I just said it.
This is you an example of that. I thought he told you that.
I just said it.
Oh, you heard through the grapevine. You are the grapevine.
I made it so.
I do look forward to our first TDA link up there.
Yeah, man.
But I've not used the burning each other. I don't care about that. This is sodomy of that. I mean, the actual, like, you know, getting married.
Nah, that's really lifted my spirits. That's
Yeah,
great.
man.
Love seeing that, man. But anyway,
Congratulations, man. Say congratulations with a like to the video as well, innit? Same thing. It's all linked, innit? It's all linked.
You
Murad
know,
would appreciate
black
it.
people.
all right then.
All right, people. So our first set of headlines. So we're obviously going to deep dive into this. Possibly more so tomorrow, but we're going to talk about it today as well. And this is basically about the fact that Labour has embarked on a large, sustained increase in spending, tax, and borrowing, according to the government's economic forecaster, OBR, as it judged that Labour's first budget for 15 years is unlikely to increase economic growth over the next 5 years. Let me read that again so that it rests in the brain. I don't think they did, Esther. Because I didn't hear them. You know what I'm saying? So Labour has embarked on a large, by the way, these are in quotes now, large, quotes, sustained increase in spending, in tax, and in borrowing. This is according to the government's economic forecaster, as it judged that Labour's first budget for 15 years is unlikely to increase economic growth over the next 5 years. Assessing Rachel Reeves' policies, the OBR, the Office for Budget Responsibility, said that the economy would expand at the same rate as predicted in March by the end of the parliament, right? Despite a £70 billion a year rise in spending. So the economy will expand at the same rate as predicted in March, right? By the end of the parliament, despite the £70 billion a year rise in spending. The extra spending revealed by Reeves would give a short-term lift to economic output. This is what they said, but leave the average rate of growth over the next 5 years unchanged. Richard Hughes, who's the head of the OBR, said that the effect of an increase in taxes of £40 billion will take the tax take each year as a proportion of national income to a historic high of 38% by 2029/2030. He also went on to say that against a largely unchanged economic and fiscal backdrop since our last forecast in March, this budget delivers one of the largest increases in spending, tax, and borrowing of any single fiscal event in history. Next headline. Google has reportedly racked up a fine of more than 2 undecillion rubles. What type of number is that? Anyway, sorry. That's basically 2 followed by 36 zeros.
There's 2.
No. 2, then there's 36 zeros under that. So you only got trillion, you got something, then you got undecillion.
I thought they had to create that just because of them. They've made history.
What's that, man?
Move your chair forward a bit, please. Thank you.
Undecillion rubles, yeah?
Did they think they're going to win that? If you're poor, just say that. That's crazy.
Basically,
That's so embarrassing.
Another way to put it is, it's a trillion times a trillion times a trillion. And some people got the nerve to say African currencies are terrible. What the hell type of currency is this?
But what's it worth though?
I don't know.
$2 million.
I don't even know. I don't even know. But the fine basically is greater than the world's total GDP, right? Which is estimated at $110 trillion by the IMF. So basically, they're fining Google, innit?
Yeah.
Why? Because they removed the state-run and the pro-government accounts from YouTube. So Russia's fining them, right? Obviously, that was going to happen, innit? Right? But they're fining them by this amount of money, which is more than the IMF, than the world's total GDP. So the mind-boggling amount has grown because Google hasn't restored YouTube accounts belonging to 17 Russian TV channels. This according to Russia's RBC News. The case was first filed privately in 2020 after the accounts of Zagrad TV channel and RIA Fan were blocked due to US sanctions. It then escalated after the start of the Ukraine war when YouTube blocked accounts belonging to the likes of Sputnik and RT, after which Russian authorities got involved. And then Google can reportedly only return to the Russian market if it complies with the court's decision. We'll see what happens with that. And the next headline, guys, oh man, it's back, man. Well, anyway, it'll make sense when I say it. A single case of mpox, obviously formerly known as monkeypox, linked to the recent outbreak in parts of Africa, has been detected in the UK. It is part of the clade 1B outbreak, which appears to spread more easily between people. So mpox was declared a global health emergency by the World Health Organization in the summer. The UK patient had recently been on holiday in at least one of the affected countries in Africa and began to feel sick 24 hours after flying home. The patient developed flu-like symptoms on the 22nd of October and a rash 2 days later. An mpox rash of pus-filled lesions can last for up to a month, guys. Yes. Other symptoms include fevers, headaches, and low energy. So if you've got any of those things, like obviously, God forbid you ain't got any of those things, right? But be mindful. If you've got like a rash that develops afterwards, like go to the doctors ASAP. You know, especially if you've been in contact with certain people. The infected UK patient now is being treated at the Royal Free Hospital's specialist high consequence infectious disease unit in London. And laboratory testing confirmed that the infection was the clade 1B. This form of the virus has been causing mounting concern. It appears able to spread more easily from person to person through close physical contact, including sex, than any other type of mpox as well. And this, that's pretty much it. But that's it for the headlines, man.
All right, let's get into what you're saying, topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, I don't think we're going to spend too much time on this, to be fair. Today's going to be a nice, as you guys said, a breezy show, innit?
A quickie.
Yeah, man. But I do want to put this up on the screen. And this is basically a conversation between, what's his name? Jacob Rees-Mogg and one of our sisters in the community. And they're going back and forth talking about the effect of colonialism. So, Brent, if you don't mind, can you play that video?
Because some of these Caribbean countries are very prosperous, they've done extremely well, and they did well because the British gave them the rule of law and democracy and capitalism, and this has been incredibly successful. The British Empire was an amazing force for good, for civilization, and for raising people's standards of living. So why should we have to pay for doing that? Surely we should be paid.
I think that's a very bold question to ask a strong black woman on your channel, Jacob. And I'll actually pose a question to you. Would you say that about Jews? So I'll just give the context. First and foremost, one could easily argue that the Jewish community, the Israeli Jews, benefited from the Holocaust. And Hitler. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. Let me bring it home, Jacob. Let me bring it home. They benefited from Holocaust and Hitler due to the fact that they were given the state of Israel, their life expectancy improved, and last but not least, their GDP improved. Israel's GDP improved as a result of Germany giving reparations in 1952. So would you say on national TV about the Jews that they should be happy and should be thanking Hitler and the Holocaust, Amy and David, for what they have gone through because they have benefited in terms of money? I would argue that Amy and David, Jacob wouldn't say this about Jews, but he's saying it about black people. So let me know what you're saying here, Jacob.
About the whole history of the British colony. Wouldn't they actually be paying us?
All right, there you go.
Whether you said that about Jews.
I don't think the question could have been answered any better, to be fair. Sometimes you got to show them the hypocrisy and the nonsense. And I think the Jewish community, as an example, in the way she used it, was a perfect way to show that he would not apply that same standard across the board. But I do want to ask this question, though.
Camille Badnock distance herself from this comment already?
I don't know, you know. Has she?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I think that she would just find a way to basically do that immediately.
She has to.
Well, you know.
She has sense. She would. She should.
But I do want to ask this question to people though, yeah. And I feel like I may know everyone in the room's opinion, but people in the chat, people who like to take, who try to see it from both angles, right? When it comes to certain things, anyway. Do you guys feel as though there was some benefits to colonialism? Do you feel like sometimes in our staunch resistance to British imperialism that we sometimes throw away the negatives? Or are the negatives, throw away the positives? Or are some of the positives so minute that it made no real significance because the negatives were that big? You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts? I know it's a bit of a tough one, and I'll tell you what. Another white guy, I can't remember his name to be fair, what he said.
Yeah. Just
to maybe help with the conversation. But he basically was saying, listen, when Brits went there, obviously I'm speaking very generally here, because obviously there were many different European nations that went back home and messed up the place. But what he's saying is there were more rights for women in Europe. So when we came back there, we basically were in a better position to provide that to the people. He also said there was more urban development. He also said there was better technology. He also said there was better healthcare. There was better transportation. There was better life-saving research and science and all these type of things. And so, because he went out of his way to actually say they had a superior culture. This is what this man said. Not Jacob Rees-Mogg, by the way.
Who had a superior culture?
As in white people, the British, right? He went out of his way to say that. And these are the reasons why he said we had a superior culture. And he said, I'm not afraid to use the word. I know people will be up in arms about me saying superior, but I'll tell you why. Because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah, well, what's your guys' thoughts about that?
I think that for some places, there was... essentially, the reason why they can bring up all these benefits is because essentially it was an investment. They technically own the place, so if you buy a new house, we're gonna treat you like shit. Obviously, you're gonna fit it with the nicest things, and you're gonna do this and do that. Sometimes, though, if I'm being honest, though, sometimes I'm Nigerian, obviously. Take Nigeria for example. Yeah. When I see how it is that the current leaders treat Nigerians and whatever else, sometimes I wish that it was still kind of under colonial rule, but that the right people with the right minds who could take the country further would do that, if that makes sense. So say the British stayed there longer, they would have invested so much into making the country look good, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, that's for how they're going to make money. However, there would have been people who rise up within the country and say, we want our country back. And then in saying we want our country back, moving forward, order would have been maintained. You get what I'm trying to say? So sometimes, yeah, there's that. But it's hard not to think of colonialism as... It's hard to see the benefits of it when it looks as though we're still suffering from the effects of it.
100%.
So it's hard to see the benefit, even if there was benefits there. But again, it's like buying a new home. You would invest into that. So the benefits are not so much... They didn't do that for the goodness of the half of the people. Yeah. They did that because of what they wanted to gain from these countries. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But we're still dealing with those effects. And it's difficult as well knowing that we were stolen from and we were robbed. Yeah. So, because if our stuff was given back and reparations were made, that would help these countries that were colonized move forward and be superior, be in the race, in the running for superiority. Do you get what I mean? So it's difficult to see the benefits of it. But it's very cheeky to say that we should be paying you.
It's insane.
Extremely.
It's insane.
That's wild. That's a wild statement to make.
As much as we sometimes talk bad about Kwesi Kwarteng, yeah. The reason why I bring him up is because he's got a book about colonial... I can't remember what it's called, but it's about colonialism and basically what the British Empire did. And he basically tries to lay out both sides of this. He's like, okay, guys, we know the British Empire, they did X, Y, and Z over there. That may have been better in terms of setting up rules of law, in terms of bringing some stability to certain nations. Because there were wars there were tribal wars. Like, that's just a historical fact, right?
Yeah.
But they came in and obviously they brought some stability. Stability so that they can do with the foolishness that they were doing, but stability nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
But he also laid out in the book the negatives. And I think he was trying, again, I'm not trying to speak for Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng, but in his book, from his words anyway, he was trying to say, listen, Brits don't just think you did good over there. There were some disastrous things you did. The Commonwealth is basically a long-lasting legacy of the nonsense you guys did over there. You know what I'm saying? And I say all of that just to say, to me, my opinion, I'm not too sure, like, have you guys seen this film on Netflix? I'm going to give you the worst description. But basically, it's that white woman. She's a good actor. She's got, like, red, gingery hair. And it's about her looking after her child. Her child has some sort of disability where she couldn't walk. Somebody in chat, help me out, please. And basically what she was doing, she kept injecting the child with some sort of something to keep the child in that dependent state.
Yes. It's actually a psychological illness.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because it's about like wanting the attention, or wanting to feel needed or something like
That's
that.
what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the film. So it's a good film if you guys ain't watched it. That's kind of how I see the relationship between Europe and Africa.
They're like to be needed.
100%.
But unfortunately as well, our leaders make such a mess of things that they continue to need them because they continue to ask them for loans, continue to depend on them for these things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a mess.
But it's because the scope of a person who can't walk and can't talk is limited. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about this all the time. Europe loves to infantilize Africa.
Right.
You do that in a particular way and keep treating that powerful nation like children and suck all the economic potential out of the nation. What can they really do? Yes, I'm going to bathe you in the morning because you're a child in my eyes. Yes, I'm going to put clothes on your back because you're a child in my eyes. Yes, I may give you food as well. But the potential of that child is being robbed completely. So that when a child grows up, it does everything you want it to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you tell me that colonialism was a good thing? How can you tell me that imperialism was a good thing? Yes, you put railway tracks and we were able to move this around from this place to that place. But what does this mean if at the end of the day you're moving things around that's going to further keep us subjugated? What does it mean if this is what you're going to do? And I think this is why stuff like what Lavinia was talking about the other day is so important, because history, the context is key. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell us all the things, the wonderful things that you did, but what's the rationale behind it?
Exactly.
There was no good there. This was white people who left Europe, went to Africa to pillage, to kill, to rape, to take everything they could. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I wanted to mention as well, yeah, because this same guy talks about the Brits had a moral superiority. Can you imagine? A moral superiority. But what does that sound like to you? If someone tells you, okay, cool, the Brits had a moral superiority, and so in some ways they had a right to be over there and actually do some good over there.
Yeah, it's in the title.
What?
They were doing what was right for the people.
Yeah, but like, how do you say to yourself, okay, cool, like, why do you even think you have this position though? Why do you think that you have some sort of moral superiority, given the wars and everything that was happening in Europe anyway, and that would later happen in Europe?
Why?
Yeah.
No, because they were evil.
Okay.
I don't have much more for you,
That's all I have for you. It's so funny. I don't have much more for you.
No, because I get it, because I feel like it's obviously straightforward for us. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel like people believe this. And people believe it because this is what's kind of fed to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of us, people in our community, we just see colonialism as a bad thing. And I'm not trying to be condescending in any type of way, but can't necessarily, like, give the best reasons for why it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And when you come up against someone like a Jacob Rees-Mogg, these other white professors or whatever it may be, that start talking about, oh, we were morally superior and we did this and we brought stability and all this other bollocks, right? You might find yourself in a situation. And I feel like they bank on that. The reason why I'm bringing that up again today, besides this, is because they bank on that going forward. The reason why you have issues in Palestine is because it's the same sort of mentality, I think. Because whenever you hear somebody talk who's pro-Israel, talking about the difference between how they manage themselves compared to how the Palestinians or Hamas runs Palestine. They always talk about the moral superiority. Obviously, I'm saying it in my words, but they talk about that. They talk about how we brought democracy. Hamas don't do that. They talk about all these sort of things, right? And they use that as justification for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And you have these sort of situations.
Yeah, I think like a lot of them tend to say, well, we brought them railways, roads, ports and bridges. You know, we made it possible for them to trade better.
Yeah.
They would say we brought education and language.
Yeah.
But these people are just bloody evil, man.
Do you know how arrogant it is as well to assume that because, like, if you hadn't done it, we never would have gotten there. We never would have discovered these things because your brain, like, you really believe that you're the only person with good ideas. You're the only person with brain cells and the ability to think.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It's just looking at other cultures and saying because they don't do things the way we do it.
Yeah.
Yours is rubbish. Or yours is. This is why, especially back then, in a lot of historical documents, when referring to Africa and countries where there are Aboriginal people, indigenous to the land, they use the word savages. It's for those reasons because they just saw themselves as more advanced.
That's so mad, you know.
You know what I'm saying? But
The level of like nonsense between his heirs for him to sit there, and he fully believes it, you know.
Of course he does.
To sit there and say that you should be paying us for what it is that we did to your
Insane.
bonkers.
Insane. And this sort of mentality just manifests in so many different ways. Just like when they like to push a narrative about how Britain was the first to abolish slavery. Stuff like this. It's just a very demonic. This is why. Anyway, let me do. I can feel myself about to go somewhere.
Yeah,
But
please don't.
yeah, you know, especially not today. But
Any day. Any day.
Some days I gotta give it to the
No, if
oppressor.
you're not on camera,
You know what I'm
fair. If you're not on TDA, fair.
But yeah. Anyway, I guess we could kind of wrap it up there. But that's all I was gonna pretty much just bring to the forefront. That we have to be reminded of the fact that there are people out there, people who are in positions that kind of influence policy or who have influenced policy or may in the future influence policy that believe these sort of things. So we can't be surprised about the way they treat us. You know what I'm saying? And certain legislation that's put in place when they feel like everything they do is for your benefit. So if they give you crumbs, it's better than the nothing that you would have produced if you was by yourself.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy that like clips like these exist. I'm happy that people like James Rees-Mogg, Mogg or whatever his name is, Mowgli, exists. That's why I made a comment about Kemi, because I strongly believe if they were to ask her if she believes the same thing, I do believe that she wouldn't say exactly what he said, but there's no way she's shutting down what it is that he said. No way. And the video I showed you kind of goes up a little piece, a little way to back that up. I know you watched it and you said she didn't say anything too bad, but the level of like coonery that she displays, that's in my honest opinion. You don't have to basically agree with me. Like that particular mindset, I could envisage her sitting next to James Rees-Mogg and having him pop that off and her not say a damn thing. And anybody who looks to respond, because that woman who responded, fantastic response, right? All she did was basically say, oh, all right, if you're on this particular violence, let me just throw another name into the mix. I see how quickly he got disheveled.
Imagine.
Quickly he got disheveled.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't realize. I would like to see what he said in response, to be honest. I don't know if it is that he
Yeah, I would have
showed
loved
a
to
role
see,
that- I want to know if it is that he showed a role that effectively. But I like when people show me themselves, man, and it gets amplified. But I love when it gets shut down.
Yeah, sure indeed.
I love when it gets shut down. And she didn't have to say much. She just had to say, all right, let me respond by saying, would you say the same about the Jews?
Yep.
Because they went through a particular incident.
Imagine.
And look where they are now. They're up. Would you say the same about the Jews?
Insane, isn't it?
Yeah. We're not up, though.
Insane.
Anywho.
But yes. All right, man. Let's wrap it up.
Let's kick on. Boop. Boop.
All right, people. So, Israel must immediately address the catastrophic humanitarian situation in Gaza. This is what the US envoy to the UN has warned. Why? Because the deadline approaches to improve the flow of aid or face cuts to American military assistance. Linda Thomas Greenfield said Israel's words must be matched by action on the ground. Right now, that's not happening. The US has given its ally until the 12th of November to surge all assistance with a minimum of 350 lorries entering Gaza daily. But the UN says only 10% of that number have crossed each day on average since then. Israel ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, said it was going above and beyond its humanitarian obligations and blamed Hamas. Mr. Danon also rejected international criticism of the Israeli parliament's decision to ban UNRWA, the UN agency for Palestinian refugees, from working in Israel. Israel's allies have warned that UNRWA plays a critical role in delivering humanitarian assistance to Gaza, where it is the largest humanitarian organization on the ground. Next headline, big trigger warning on this one. Big trigger warning, guys. Oh, man. And a 2-year-old toddler was killed in a fatal collision in Wembley as his mum was heard screaming for help. The toddler was hit by a vehicle around 7 p.m. on Wednesday in Wembley as his mother called for the driver of the car to stop. He later died of injuries in hospital. A witness was speaking to the Sun and said the boy's mum was yelling for the driver to stop, but he still went on. A Met Police spokesperson said the driver of the car has been spoken to, but they have not been arrested. A false spokesperson said police are investigating a fatal collision that took place in Rowley Close in Wembley around 7:15 on Sunday, the 27th of October. A London ambulance service spokesperson also said paramedics and the air ambulance were called to the scene, but unfortunately, the boy's life sadly could not be saved. And the last headline, the US and South Korean defense chiefs have called for North Korea to withdraw its troops from Russia, as the US envoy to the UN, Robert Wood, bluntly warned that Pyongyang's forces entering Ukraine will surely return in body bags. This is insane. Washington said that 10,000 North Korean troops have been deployed for possible action against Ukrainian forces. Russia and North Korea have deepened their political and military alliance as the Ukraine war has dragged on. But sending Pyongyang's troops into combat against Kiev's forces would mark a significant escalation that has sparked widespread international concern. I call upon them to withdraw their troops out of Russia. This is what the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said at the Pentagon yesterday. North Korean troops will be co-belligerents, and you have every reason to believe that they will be killed and wounded as a result of battle. If Pyongyang's forces enter Ukraine in support of Russia, they will surely return in body bags. I will advise Chairman Kim Jong-un to think twice about engaging in such reckless and dangerous behavior. Despite his call for them to withdraw, Austin said that there was a good likelihood that Moscow would still proceed. Oh, everyone's getting involved in this thing now, man. But that's it for the headlines, guys. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into some word on road. Got quite a bit to share today. All of a sudden, first of all, there's nothing going on, and all of a sudden everything's going on. Everyone's moving mad. But so firstly, Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum are basically breaking up. They've been together. Yeah, they've been together 3 years now, and they got engaged last year. I think I remember reporting on that. But yeah, they're breaking up. So yeah, you. What's next? Liam Payne. So Liam Payne, obviously, we know from One Direction, passed away probably like 3 weeks now, I think. But he was meant to have a posthumous? Am I just a foodie? Am I just hungry? Posthumous. Humus?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
That's what I say.
Brent, you're the one with English parents.
Yeah, man.
I think people say it 2 ways: posthumous and posthumous. It just depends on how it is that your tongue like flicks around the beach.
You're such an egg. Basically, his first post-death song was due to come out on Friday. I don't know, because sometimes, so basically, the song is with a Grammy winner called Sam Pounds. Sam Pounds.
Some pounds.
Okay. Sam Pounds. And the song was meant to be out on Friday. But then Sam has then said that the song is delayed until further notice. But why did you post the song in the first place? He posted a clip of him and Liam in the studio and Liam singing the song and whatever. The song is called Do No Wrong. And then, obviously, he was getting cooked. Then now you want to come and say you're doing something so morally right. Talking about, today I'm deciding to hold Do No Wrong. Mind you, today is the same day he posted it, by the way. Same day. All in the same day within a few hours. He says, today I'm deciding to hold Do No Wrong and leave those liberties up to all family members. I want all proceeds to go to a charity of their choosing or however they desire. First of all, he's got a living son. Give the money to the son. But okay. Charity is great as well, but you know. Anyway, he says, even though we all love the song, it's not the time yet. We are all still mourning the passing of Liam, and I want the family to mourn in peace and in prayer. We will all wait. With love, Sam Pounds. I love that name, you know. Sam Pounds.
Sam Pounds.
Pounds,
Sam.
as in pound money.
And what's the first name?
Sam.
Sam Pounds.
Sam Pounds.
Sounds like the beginning of a sentence.
Literally, like, it sounds incomplete.
Some pounds.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So basically, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Obviously, the fans were reacting to how sad it seems. It's so crazy. When people die, everything about them just looks like death. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you see a picture of them, they just look like dead. Do you know the people that need to be criticized in this world are the people that take pictures alive and well, like birthday pictures or whatever, and they're like, sorry. And the background is like clouds. Actually, do you remember last year? Was it last year or the year before? When Mark's annoying self posted that picture in black and white when he was in hospital. When I went to see him later that day, I said, why would you do that? He was like, oh, it's just a nice picture. I said, no, you can't post a picture. Yeah. Well, he doesn't look dead. He just looks annoying. Oh, I'm actually crying. Oh, my SPF is my eyes are stinging. Oh, gosh. It's so crazy. We're like, oh, happy 50th to my mum. What?
Crazy.
Anyway.
Yo, them invites. Is it invite or is it celebration cards?
Yeah.
Whatever y'all have at them.
The invitations.
Yeah, I went to a couple of. I think I filmed a couple of these
Nigerian ones.
halls. Yeah,
Yeah, the
had
whole
these
parties.
meetings. Yeah. And then you'll make those.
They love
leaflets.
it.
And it's always the clouds at the
It's
back.
always the clouds at the back, but that's what we keep for your funerals. Why would you do that? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, y'all are different, man.
Now listen, Nigerians love, like, I'm hoping that when I go, the people are getting married, I can go to the weddings, because Nigerians love a party, boy. Especially Yoruba people. Oh, they've tied our destiny to a tree somewhere with parties, boy. Anyway, 50 Cent is out here doing what 50 Cent does. He's out here dissing Omari Hardwick. He was, I think this was on Breakfast Club, talking about whatever power and whatever else, and he basically said that Omari Hardwick over, what did he say? Hold on, let me get exactly what his man said. Sorry, y'all. He says that Omari Hardwick overvalues himself. You ask a person for more money for a show that you are carrying on your back, and you overvalue yourself. It be your own black people, child. It really be. But anyway, I love that Naturi Naughton, who played Tasha, she's come to his defense. And she basically said, what she said was, she said, this is insane to me. Omari is literally the epitome of power. Omari Hardwick started this amazing journey, and I don't know all of what happened with 50 and Omari, but I'll say this. I love Omari Hardwick. He's an amazingly talented human, and he's also a good person, but there would be no power without Ghost. That's a word. Nobody tune in there for Tariq or Tommy.
No.
Like, Ghost's power I'm sure is still the best one across all franchises. Maybe Tariq's one has lived up to it, but in terms of that popularity, because what was that other person? That BMF person or something like that? I didn't watch that. Kanan. I didn't watch Kanan's one.
What's it called?
Kanan, right? Keeping Up with Kanan or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I didn't watch Kanan's one. I haven't watched Tommy's one. Who else have they done one on?
Kanan Rising?
Rising with Kanan, maybe? I don't know. Kanan chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't watched Kanan's one. I haven't watched Tommy's one. Who else is there?
Just those.
Yeah,
Tariq
Tariq and Ghost's one are really what it is. And Omari Hardwick's one is what set up Tariq to do that.
True indeed.
So I don't know, man. I just think sometimes, especially with Hollywood, it's pay people the money. Everyone knows Power is making stupid amounts of money. They could have, if they wanted to, they could have afforded to pay him. And it just lets you, I feel like, for me, I just feel like this just shows that it must have been some kind of power play thing of not wanting to pay him what he deserved. Because that man was doing what he was doing. With typical shows, the higher the show goes, the more money you guys get. The better the show does, the more money you get. And that's where it ended anyway, quickly, because he wasn't gonna get what's it called, crumbs or whatever. Anyway, I think that's very, very sad. I know that 50 Cent did a lot of things, but I just think that was out of order. But we'll see what Omari says if he decides to respond. That man don't like he cares to respond to things. And he's only actually, whenever he's done interviews, he's only ever praised Power, and he's only ever talked about how he's glad that he's talked about how proud he is of Michael Rainey Jr., which is Tariq, and like how great that his show did, and like he's only ever been positive. Why would you do that? Stiff neck, man. Anyway, there's that. Megan Thee Stallion is suing a blogger, which personally I just think I'm here for. First of all, I forgot to say the other day. Why are you laughing at me? But I'm here for it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's great. I forgot to say actually that the whole Tory Lanez thing, I think he's doing it because Megan Thee Stallion's got a documentary coming out today. I'm gonna try and watch it today. It's gonna be on Amazon Prime, and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago when it was announced and the trailer showed. But it's basically her telling her own story. And when she was on Jimmy Fallon, I think that's the guy with the couch, she was basically saying how people have basically spent the last few years telling her story. And she actually never wanted to do a documentary, but they reached out to her and she initially declined it. But she just said the audacity of people. She didn't say this is my words before you start attacking her for it. But she just felt the audacity of people to just keep telling my story. And you guys don't even know the half of anything. So she decided, you know what, actually, run it back. Let's do the documentary. I'm going to tell my story. And I'm very, very interested in it because I told them, it's just, I'm very interested in it. They can never make me hate Megan. That's just the honest truth. They can never make me hate Megan. You can never make me hate a girl who came up and lost her mum in the manner in which she did and lost her grandma and had literally lived in this world by herself. And then got shot in the foot, and then got betrayed by a friend for a little bit of penis. Sorry, but you will never have that. Like, I could never hate her. But anyways, so she's got a documentary coming out today, but it's on Amazon Prime now. But but she's suing this blogger, and she's a YouTuber as well. Her name is Milagro. I've heard her name, but I'd never. But anyway, she's basically suing her because she says that she's intentionally carried out a public campaign to denigrate. Sorry. My brain was glitching. To denigrate, belittle, insult, and spread false statements about Meghan. She says that the lawsuit also includes the fact that she's basically claiming that Milagro has been a mouthpiece and puppet for Tory Lanez, and she's been churning out falsehoods. Also, apparently, Milagro allegedly shared a pornographic deepfake AI picture of Megan Thee Stallion involved in some kind of sexual acts or whatever. So she's suing her for nonsense, man. And Megan says that this is what her attorney said, that enough is enough. Miss Pete, who is Megan, a victim of violent crime and champion of women's rights to her millions of fans worldwide, will no longer stand for defendants' campaign of harassment. And then also Megan said, the lawsuit said, that it's time to hold bloggers accountable for years of harassment, cyberbullying, and the publication of misinformation about my personal and professional life. I've endured countless attacks on my character based on false narratives from social media bloggers misrepresenting themselves as journalists. It's unacceptable behavior, and these individuals need to understand there will be repercussions for recklessly posting lies and defamatory falsehoods. I'm here for it. Sue her twice. This is the thing. I love this thing because that's what Cardi B did as well to Tasha K. Sued her ass. You want to talk shit about me? You want to make up things? That's fine. Put your money where your mouth is. If anyone's ever noticed, Shade Room doesn't talk about Cardi B. Why do you think that is? They're not allowed to. So even if when gist is very hot, and I know they're gagging to say something, they can't. They can't because they can't talk about her anymore. So there's that. Obviously I'll keep an eye on how that goes. Milagro did respond. Let me see what she said. Hold on. She said... she said she's been informed that she's being sued by Alex Sparrow, who is on behalf of his client Megan Thee Stallion. And she says, of course, we'll chat about it. And she said they threw in the tape too. So we'll see what happens on that, girl. If I'm being sued, do you think I'm out here on Twitter making statements. Even when I'm not going to create a GoFundMe to help me my legal bills. Sorry. What else did she say? She said the countersuit is going to go crazy. Well, we'll see. There's that. Speaking of such things, Ari Lennox basically, cut long story short, wants out of her Dreamville and Interscope contract. She no longer wants any of that. It's very, very interesting. So basically, Ari Lennox was on live the other day. I love when Ari Lennox does live. She's very, very flipping hilarious. She's just so funny. But anyway, she basically did a live and she basically said that she was very, very tired. She said she's absolutely tired. She said she doesn't know where to begin, where to start. And essentially, the trigger, from what it appears, is that so she's on this guy called Terrell. There's a guy in America called Terrell. He's got a show called The Terrell Show. Very creative. He's had so many people on there. He's had Kelly Rowland. He's had many, many artists on there and whatever else. Very, very nice show. Ari Lennox was on there, on his show. But she told that she didn't want the interview to come out.
Okay.
She said she didn't want the interview to come out. Interscope, and then we're like, we'll get it sorted, wherever. Mind her business yesterday. What does she see? She's being tagged. The interview's out. She's in contact them like, didn't I say I didn't want the interview to come out? They're saying to her, oh, the guy wasn't picking up his phone. Like, don't piss me off. They're saying to her that basically they couldn't get in contact with the guy or his team. And then they're like, oh, but everyone likes it though. The comments are very positive. But the reason why she didn't want the interview to come out is because she said that she is not, and she's not going to let people box her in. Sorry, she's not going to let people make her the poster girl for mental health. I don't know how people have made Ari Lennox the poster girl for mental health. All this girl has talked about is being sober. For I think 2 years now, she's been sober, which is very, very good because we know how the music industry does. Some people, the drugs situation is crazy. The drinking and whatever is mad. All she's doing is being healthy. Right. So she talks about being sober, but then also all she ever does is complain. She complains about the music industry and not wanting to get involved with the politics of it. That's it. The girl enjoys singing. She's got a great, great, beautiful, soulful voice. Obviously, we know that the music industry doesn't really appreciate R&B like that anyway. And I feel like the soul community, they feel like maybe she's too young. They kind of snub her. There was a whole award thing where she got snubbed or whatever, blah, 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 the whole thing. So I don't know how people have branded her talking about these real things. For me, I just see them as her being real and honest about the things that she witnesses around her. I don't know how people have made her the brand for mental health. Yeah, the poster girl for mental health. I did watch the interview with Terrell, and I can see why she didn't want that interview out. So obviously, like with you know, there's certain people that like they come across very, very sweet and kind and whatever. It's funny because I really like cusses, and that woman is so funny when she cusses people. But because she's like very soft spoken, people treat like, oh, you little precious, oh, kind of thing. So basically, in the interview, that is Terrell's angle. Again, it's not a bad thing. But again, because she said that even when people come up to her, like when fans come up to her, they come to her like, oh, so how are you? Like, oh, so like, how's your mental health doing? Like, do you mean that kind of stuff? She's like, leave me alone. Like, I literally talk about things that everybody else is going through. Why have you made me the poster girl? So in the interview, it's a lovely interview, it's a nice interview, but you know someone that pouring into speaking life into you? Yo. This boy turned into a therapy session. And obviously watching, like, I've watched a lot of things with Ari Lennox, and she's a shy person anyway, but she's confident when it's like time to sing and whatever. But you know when you can just tell someone's feeling bad for you? And you can just feel the uncomfortableness in it? Mm-hmm. Do you know how far this guy went? And again, I'm not saying this was a bad interview. I'm just saying that I understand why she didn't want that, because all he's going to do is make people feel like, oh, like this vulnerable, defenseless victim that we need to baby and whatever. She said, I don't want to be seen like that. I'm not being taken seriously, because she said it's making people question as well her like her sanity kind of thing. Mm. So then people are bright whenever she does something or says something, people brand as, oh, she's having a breakdown or she did that. And she's like, bro, I'm sober. I know what I'm talking about. Even when she was talking about like being tired, she said, I need to make it clear. I'm not tired about living. She said, I love my life. I enjoy living. I want to be alive. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that I'm tired of the politics that's happening in the music industry and whatever. So anyway, in the interview, he even had a video, right, of her, and obviously her rants about hating social media is also what makes people think that she's having a breakdown. But really and truly, social media should not be consumed in the amounts that it is today anyway. Mm-hmm. So even with that, she's not saying anything crazy, but people brand it as, oh my gosh, having a breakdown, and oh my gosh, protect her at all costs kind of thing. So anyway, in the interview, yeah, he brought up a video where she was like 19. And he's like, look at that girl. Look at that girl. Who was that? I want you to see her. And I want you to know that that is still you. Look at how happy that girl is. I want you to have your joy back. This is how we were speaking. Lord knows I would have left that interview. Don't be stupid. Cut all the cameras off. He posted that, he had the video, they queued up that video so quick, of her when she was 19, talking about how she wants to do music and she wants her music to like just speak to people, and she wants people to love, like fall in love with soul again and like fall in love with R&B, blah, blah, blah. And she talks about, what did she say? Something about healing the world or feeding world hunger, something like that anyway. You know damn well. So she said she wanted to have all the money so she can donate to charity. First of all, don't embarrass me, because you know damn well I haven't solved world hunger. Talking about you're putting up a video of me when I was 19. So anyway, this was her rant. So essentially, I feel like the trigger really was that she didn't want this video out. They told her they would get it handled. Next thing she knows, and then she was like, how ironic that now I have to come back on social media because she feels like this is the only way I can actually get through to you. But, so she did that. And obviously a lot of people in the comments were basically saying that, girl, it's time to go independent. Just go independent. If you don't want to be part of these labels and they're seniors. Also, sorry, another big thing for her, but she said that they don't believe in the marketing. She said her labels don't believe they've told her they don't believe in social media marketing. So she was like, so she had a single that came out the other day. I remember I was saying Ramsey about it. She's got a new single out called Smoke. It came out on Friday. She's telling them all these ways she wants to market it and blah, blah, blah. And she said they're just like, they don't believe in it. So they're not willing to invest in basically in that. And she said that's part of the problem, because then how is my career going to grow if you're not marketing me? She's like, I'm giving you the, so she said that how then she's having by herself then start doing Google ads by herself because my label that's meant to do these things for me isn't doing. She said she doesn't feel protected by her label, doesn't feel like they're looking out for her. She said Interscope and Dreamville, she posted on her story, obviously deleted now. The live also was there for like 24 hours. That's also gone off her page now. But she says, Interscope and Dreamville have been playing with me all month and I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired of people treating me like they're sorry for me and like I'm the face of mental health. I'm okay and I've never been happier. What I don't like is being signed and lied to and manipulated. Not one person at those labels ever knew how to market or protect me. Y'all don't know the half. Constant letdown and neglect. This industry stuff will never be for me. I don't know if you guys remember as well when I reported at how she was the opening act for Rod Wave. Ari Lennox is sick, you know. Ari Lennox sold out 3 dates here in, what's that Camden? Was it Camden? I think it was Camden. That Camden venue, that venue that's close to Camden. I can't remember what it was. But like, she's a big deal. Like, for the fans that she's got, for people that love R&B, people that love soul, she is a big deal. But they had her opening up for Rod Wave. I don't even know what Rod Wave sings, but named like Rod Wave. The fans were booing her and they're throwing things at her. And at the time, it was a whole thing where obviously the video went around and people were talking about how horrible it was. Her fans were defending her. Nobody from the labels or anything like that came out to defend her. But also, why would you have ever thought to have someone that's doing gangster music and put someone that's so lovely and gentle as the opener? The people are not there to feel love. They're there to be angry. Like, what the hell? So anyway, there's just that. So there's been a lot of conversation online about how she's been mismanaged anyway and how they haven't done the best things for her career anyway. And she got a lot of support in her comments. Like Kalani commented and said, listen, if you need advice on you want to be independent, we've got you. But one thing I thought was really, really sweet as well was T-Pain also commented. And I really hope she does consider going independent. I feel like it would really, really open doors for her if she was to be independent. Just get the right team, just get the right social media people, get the right marketing people. Her career will absolutely soar. But anyway, T-Pain left a comment and he says, every single word, you sound exactly like me in 2018 when I decided to take the leap to independence. He says, I need to talk to you. I want to at least throw out some suggestions from experience on how I navigated from being supported by a label to fully independent. It's fucking tough as shit, but you're so talented and smart. I knew if I just gave you a little perspective from recent experience, I'll at least spark something that you can take and absolutely kill this shit on your own and be your own boss. He says, please DM me, mama. I love when Americans say mama. So cute. But anyways, there was a lot of love that she was shown in the comments. And I do hope, I actually wanted to go independent. I feel like it would actually be the best thing for her, especially for someone who doesn't want all the politics of the music industry and someone who, doesn't want all the politics of it and just wants to make music. Like she's made it clear that She really enjoys singing. Like, she loves it. However, the politics of it and just the social media of it all and whatever has basically stolen her joy. And even in the Terrell interview, she was talking about like the social media and whatever. And she was talking about how people now criticize her, talking about they want, obviously her last album was called Age, Sex, and Location. And people were saying how they want songs like Shea Butter Baby. But she was like, when I did Shea Butter Baby, you thought we're cussing Shea Butter Baby. You didn't want Shea Butter Baby at the time. So how are you telling me now that you want Shea Butter? So she was like, what do people want? But I think sometimes, this is again the thing with normal people just becoming famous for their talent. They're normal people at the end of the day. So it's a thing where like Ari Lennox has got so many fans that absolutely love her music. Like I spent yesterday just listening to a lot of stuff and she's flipping amazing. But sometimes, unfortunately, obviously you notice the love, but the negativity is louder. It happens with me as well, where the negativity kind of is just louder than the people that are actually showing you love. And I think it takes very great, just intentional daily work to tune out the negativity. But it's sad, man. And I hope that I hope she can figure out what it is that works best for her. And obviously because recently as well, Chloe Bailey basically was talking about the same thing. She's signed to Parkwood Entertainment, which is Beyonce's label, and she was basically talking about as well how they're not trying to market her. They're not trying to market like that woman can. Chloe Bailey can work, and she produces. Like she and her sister, they produce, they play instruments, they sing, they do it all. Like they literally are in their rooms, just doing it all. I think lockdown was when people could really see. Sorry, lockdown was when people could really, really see like just how crazy talented these two girls are. And obviously they act as well, they're in Grownish. So like there's so much stuff that they could really do. But she was talking about how with the labels as well, she's like, I want to do shows. She's like, I want to have shows, I want to do this, I want to do that. She had a sold out tour as well. Everywhere as well. London was sold out. She was everywhere actually. And she was talking about how, they're not trying to, there's no budget. She's like, they keep saying there's no budget for this stuff. And again, it just goes back to that argument that people make when it comes to R&B singers signing to labels, how it's not a priority. And this is the joke, because when people want to talk about all these gangster rap, it's not good, it's taking the community back. But those are people that get the time. Those are the people that get the budget. Those are the people that get the money and they get the attention. Do you get me? And they get the investments. So love and light to Ari Lennox. Love her down, man. They can never make me hate you. But that's what's going on her side of things. This is such an interesting interesting headline. Chris Brown, hear this. Chris Brown broke up a fight between Diddy's sons trying to jump Ray J. It's the most random thing. But you know what the internet done? The internet has said that basically no one that ever tries to come for Ray J ever wins. Like Ray J is always the final straw. Ray J is always the cherry on top. And after Ray J, it just wouldn't like this is life. This is that you can't take Ray J down. Vince Staples said you can't take Ray J down. Anyway, basically there was a club, they were at a club or whatever. I'll be honest with you, I find it interesting that Diddy's sons are clubbing, given the situation that's going on. They should be at brunches, like daytime brunch. Don't even take it to nighttime. Daytime where everyone can see your hands on the table and nothing but mocktails in your glasses. Anyway, they were basically they were clubbing, and it was the end of the club night. And apparently what had happened was they were in a car park or something. You know, like American clubs, like whenever you see these videos of people fighting, like Sharky should know, that kind of vibe, they're always in like this just empty space. Like you know, like how clubs, obviously all buildings have like the back. You know where the trash is? It just always looks like that's where they are. But anyway, apparently they tried to jump him. Ray J says like 8 of them, 8 men deep, trying to jump little old Ray J. He was telling Wack 100 this, and Wack was like, where was your boys and whatever? He was like, nah, he said no one was there. Like, and they tried to, and he said, yeah, Chris Brown apparently peeped what was going on from his car and ran out quickly to basically stop the fight. People in the comments were saying, the day you see Chris Brown stopping the fight, I'm saying, no, you're the crazy. But to be fair though, in a nice turn of events, Ray J, I think when he was talking to Wack, he didn't know that Wack was live. Okay. So he was like, is this gonna go out there? And Wack was like, absolutely. Wack has got smoke. He's ready to burn all the combs down. He said, absolutely. Of course it is. And Reggie said, well, in that case, I'm not going to talk to you about it then. Because he was like, they're having a tough time. He was like, their dad is going through what their dad is going through. I'll be honest with you, that would, for me, that would make, that's what I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Charlemagne said this, if they're not careful, they're gonna end up in prison just right next to their daddy. And that's facts. How do you mean you're out here fighting people? And obviously the fight as well was because of apparently what Ray J has said about their dad and whatnot.
You know what he said?
I don't know what he said actually.
All right.
Thank you.
So I put it in Dana Air some time ago.
Oh.
So Brent, if you don't mind, you can go to Dana Air. There's a clip there. Actually, I'm not too sure if this is what it is, but I feel like it could be.
What Ray J said?
Yeah.
Listen, I stand with Ray J, man.
He's got his own show or something.
He's got hella shows. Ray J is single-handedly keeping Zeus Network. I mean, he's got a partnership, so anything can be a show. I'm hoping the cameras capture this boy and he has a change of heart and he shows it one day. But Ray J and Zeus Network, he's got a show for anything. He wasn't even wanting to give Jaguar Wright a show. Talking about, let's sit down, have an interview and talk to me. He was like, you know me, I know you. Let's sit down and I got time for Jaguar Wright. He said that's what he was on. Ray J and Zeus, do you know what someone said? Someone said, Anisha, what is Kamala Harris going to do about Zeus? What's her policies? What's her policies on Zeus Network? Because that's what all the baddies shows are. All them baddies that be fighting, Zeus Network. Zeus and Ray J, they go together real bad. He's an entrepreneur there.
Yeah, he is. 100%. 100%.
He's an entrepreneur. Oh dear.
For taking somebody's ass?
What?
There's a lot of people out here taking from people. Not only like people are getting robbed of not only their money and their spirituality. They're getting robbed of their womanhood and manhood. Asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. Do you chuckle? Do you laugh? Do you help? Do you criticize? Because I see a lot of jokes out there right now talking about baby oil. Everybody got a joke about having baby oil and lube. Is that okay? Is that the message? Ha 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 ha. That was funny, fam. Now what? I don't use baby oil. Lube sometimes in sex makes it better. Should I come out with Ray Y jelly and do some kind of like skit and say, KY just gave me a deal. Ray Y jelly, I got 1,000 of them. Ha 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 ha. Ray Y.
Oh, man.
That funny to you? It's not to me. Because there's a victim out there that has been... Do you forgive
There you go, man.
somebody for taking somebody's ass?
Oh, man. There you go. Yeah, what do you think of stuff?
Please, you please.
Oh man, Ray J. You can see why. You can see why they came for him.
That's the funniest thing. I can't. I need a moment.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Take somebody this. That boy is not normal, you know.
Hey.
His ass is being taken. I can't. He's not normal. He's not on the news. On the news.
Can you imagine?
Do you know what?
Yeah, go.
Go on. There you go.
Now, you see how you mentioned how he wanted to give a platform to Jaguar, right?
Yeah.
He did something with Orlando Brown. And guess where you might be able to see it?
This.
Yes, but
This
you might see a
network.
clip right now, Brent. These people are they're having a field day with this, you know? What's
I feel like I came out your.
Oh.
I feel like I came out your. That's my mama. This my daddy, and Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And
You
this is real shit. Jigga, you know I can't stop.
Got lenses.
I'm about to turn
I
you
promise
into
you,
R. Kelly
and
if
I
you
promise
keep
you,
this
we
camera.
No, you look good on camera.
Was that
shot? Pause.
so to make him?
Yeah, ain't no pause, nigga. You serious?
Change in this
Bro,
this
I went to
perspective.
Dr. Phil. You know what I'm saying?
But therapy.
Listen.
Lessons. All.
So
I want to help you.
Okay, listen. You can't help me, but I can love you. And the thing is,
You told me that you were gonna protect me.
Mm-hmm.
How can you protect me? Like, what you gonna be like my condom?
What do you feel about Plan Bs? You think they work?
Plan A is always
I wonder if they got one for men. If we take it and then it's actually inside of our body.
You look good. You been doing Ozempic?
I was never. Okay.
I'm talking about blind you.
Your career reminds me of Nick Cannon.
Don't do that. Don't do that to Nick, and don't do that to me.
Yeah, but Nick Cannon is definitely like one of one.
you said Nick. What's up with Nick?
Oh, God.
What's up with Nick?
If you compare your career to somebody, who would it be?
Michael Jackson. That's me.
Never.
You're a liar.
What?
What?
What was that?
What are you talking about? Where's Nick?
Is this where I protect you?
Liar ass nigga.
Yeah.
I gotta take a piss.
Oh, you do?
I feel like I can't.
This is what you wanted me to play, you bonehead.
What was that? Do you know what? No, I don't want to know.
He basically just throated the boom mic. That wasn't for Rigid. That was for Emmanuel's pleasure.
That was for Emmanuel's pleasure, man. But listen, anyways, yeah, Ray J is trying to protect their secrets, and I think that's very nice. Big up Ray J for that. But Ray J is funny, man. I can't believe he spoke like that on the news. I actually can't believe for the life of me he did that on the news.
But it's his,
I haven't laughed at that in so long.
but it's his news, isn't it?
Oh, it wasn't like official news.
No.
Oh, I thought it was, Brent.
Nah.
You know when they invite people to come and speak on this?
No.
That's what I
That
thought
was
he
his
went
own-
on
that
there
was his-
talking
that
about.
was his own broadcast channel.
Oh, that's flipping hilarious. But I guess that is rush worthy.
Mm.
Actually, is it? Your dad did take rules, did what he did.
So what's J. Cole saying about this?
J. Cole ain't said nothing because J. Cole doesn't go use social media like that. I honestly think with Irish, I feel like it just is what it is, man. But I think J. Cole hasn't said, let me just check again. J. Cole hasn't said anything. But I do reckon that J. Cole's going to speak to her separately. But I think also as well, I don't think that J. Cole probably knows that this is how his label's being run. Because if it's a celebrity attached to a label, people obviously assume that it's your label. I don't know how involved J. Cole is with that. But apparently, because they've got a lot of, they've got so many talented people on the Dreamville, man. They've got Baz, they've got Jid, Earth Gang. I think I heard that Earth Gang left or also did a rant about wanting to leave or whatever. But I don't know if Dreamville is signed with Interscope. Do you get what I mean? I don't know how it's linked. So how much involvement then would J. Cole have or whatever the case might be? But from what it's always been, J. Cole always looks out for Ari, cares about her. Like when I was at the London show last year, May, he surprised her. So like from what it is, he always shows up for her. So hopefully that can be the case again. I reckon it probably will be, which is probably why she deleted it, to be fair. But yeah.
Fair.
Oh.
Thank you very much. That was amazing.
That was good, man. All right, let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. All right, 1 second, people.
Oh, we had props.
No. So, obviously, the main thing that we're going to talk about today, pretty much the only thing we're going to talk about today, is the budget. So this is Labour's first budget in like 15 years. And
Pressure.
Yes. And it's the first time, I guess, we get to see them roll out some policies.
That's not hypothetical.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time we get to see if they're actually going to live out the promises that they actually said in the budget. Sorry, in the manifesto. Obviously, they took power July 4th, I believe it was. And yeah, we've seen certain changes to the economy in terms of inflation. We've seen certain things fluctuate here, there, and all over the place. But now is actually them putting certain things in place that's actually going to affect us in a real tangible ways. So I want us to definitely go through this, right? So firstly, I just want to give everybody like a quick and brief overview so that we're kind of on the same page and we can see what's going on, right? So this is basically the budget in a nutshell. One of the key measures that Rachel Reeves introduced was a rise in employers' national insurance contributions. So that's gone up from 13.8% to 15%. I want to remind everyone, I feel like I'm going to keep doing this as I'm talking anyway, that Labour promised that there'll be no increase to taxes for working people. There'll be no change to anyone's VAT, national insurance and income tax. Effectively, your pay slip will remain the same, right? You will not be paying more tax. You will not have less money in your pocket. There was a surprise move as well. There was meant to be a freeze on income tax and NI thresholds. We believed, when I say we, a lot of people, analysts out there believe that this would continue, this freeze would extend up until 2029. This is what they're pretty much anticipating. However, it's not going to be extended beyond 2028. So that's a good thing, right? She also announced an increase in capital gains tax, a freeze on fuel duty next year as well. Also the introduction of VAT on private school fees from January. So again, that was another thing that a lot of people cared about. Well, to be fair,
a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I guess not going to be a lot of people, but there are many people who are middle class that, they really try to tighten their belt to put their kids into private school, and were really felt hard done by Labour, wanting to introduce 20% increase in tax, VAT to private school fees. So that's now going to be rolled out from January. She basically said that this is not the sort of budget that we want to repeat. So this is just one of those budgets which is going to be tough for us, but it's a budget that's a necessity, effectively, right? This is what she said. The previous Chancellor, who's the current Shadow Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, said he welcomes more investment in the NHS because this is one of the things that Labour have now committed to. They're putting more money into the NHS, and this is one of the things that most people really wanted to happen. Many people who changed from the Tories over and voted Labour in the previous election did so apparently because they wanted more money in the NHS. They don't want to see the NHS privatised, right? And I think this is why a lot of people also felt some type of way when they heard Wes Streeton, who's in charge of that particular sector and part of the cabinet, Labour's cabinet, talking about we want to still have certain parts of the NHS run by the private sector to basically remove some of the burden that's on the NHS currently. But long story short, that's one of the reasons. So she did deliver in that, and I'm going to get into more details on that later, right? But Rachel Reeves, she's announced a £22.6 billion increase in the day-to-day health budget, as well as a £3.1 billion increase in the capital budget, right? So that's basically Jamie Hunt's response. He basically says that picking the pockets of businesses and raising taxes is the easy thing for any chancellor to do. But long term, how is this going to affect everybody? You know what I'm saying? He also went on to say we're going to have lower living standards, we're going to have higher prices, fewer jobs, more expensive mortgages. Life is going to get tougher for ordinary people. I need to put my hotspot on. I've just done it. All right, so that's basically his response to Rachel Reeves' budget, basically. Now let's get into this, right? So, as I mentioned before, I'm going to go into some detail. I'm also going to go into it tomorrow as well, so that everyone can kind of be up to scratch. Probably going to for the next couple of weeks, probably at different points, especially when you guys start to realize the real implications on your living standards, the amount of money that's coming into your pockets, and how it's going to potentially affect you long term. So, with regards to personal taxes, right? As I said before, and Labour kept to this, and this is one of the things that they wanted to keep to. But I want you to really see if it really means what it said, what they say. So the rate of income tax and national insurance paid by employees, by you guys, and of VAT is going to remain unchanged. So again, that was a promise for working people. That will remain unchanged. Income tax band thresholds is likely to rise. Well, it will be rising in line with inflation after 2028. So 4 years from now, not right now. Remember I said to you, there's a freeze right now. People believe that the freeze would, they speculate that it would increase, so it would extend to 2029. But Rachel Reeves has said the income tax band thresholds will rise in line with inflation after 2028. So this will prevent more people from being dragged into higher bands as their wages increase, right? Which is basically what you will be going through until 2028. I hope that registers with people. I'm not trying to be condescending, but I hope that registers with people. From now to 2028, your increase in wages potentially could take you into a higher tax bracket, which will have implications on how much money you keep and take home. So when I tell you there's no increase on your taxes, please bear this in mind. The basic rate capital gains tax on profits, right? So basically, whenever you sell any sort of asset, whenever you sell shares, all that sort of stuff, you have to pay a capital gains tax, right? That has now increased from 10% to 18%. From 10% to 18%. The higher rate, that's now increasing from 20% to 24%, right? If you ain't got no assets, there's no shares that you possess that you feel like selling or whatever, you may not give a damn, you know what I'm saying? But I always say to you guys, try and think about yourself in the next years. You know what I'm saying? Esther was talking about how she's happy for who she's going to be when she's 30. She's thinking about in next year, you know what I'm saying? She's thinking about herself in the future. And it's the right thing to do because your circumstances will be different and you're going to be faced with a different reality when a lot of us, God willing, everyone's economic status will improve, you know what I'm saying? On paper anyway. So the rates of profits from selling additional properties, that remains unchanged. Inheritance tax threshold, there's going to be a freeze. There's a freeze already, and that freeze will be extended by a further 2 years. So the inheritance tax threshold will be extended until 2030, right? There will be exemptions when inheriting farmland and all that sort of stuff, but the average person who listens to the show, I don't necessarily think they have farmland in the UK. But if you do, exemptions will be are there basically. Business taxes. So companies that are looking to pay this NI. So remember, like I said before, it's gone up from 13.8%, I believe, to 15% now. Companies, as in employers' NI contributions, that they're going to be paying 15% on salaries above £5,000 from April. This is up from 13.8%, like I just said, on salaries above 9,100. This is raising an additional £25 billion a year. I want to get into this just a tiny bit because I want this to become really real to people. Remember, your tax is going to be remaining the same, as they said, right? But the contributions, the NI contributions, right, will change. It's gone up from 13.8% to 15%. Now, you may be thinking, how does this affect me? I'm not an employer. I'm not a business. You know what I mean? Who gives a damn? Now, the reality is, when the contributions from the employers are contributed, long term, they will be thinking about the profit. And the OBR themselves have said, long term, this will stifle growth. This may even prevent the employment of more people. And your wages long term, so if you were destined to get 10%, let's just say, every year, based on the previous budget, because of this increase in employers' NI contributions, you won't get your 10% now because your employer wants to crawl back that money. So you may get 10% now, you may get 7% next year. You may get 5% the year after that. So that is how you are losing money long term. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think of it in that particular way. And if you thought it was a small thing, it's not, because this particular change in policy will raise the government an extra £25 billion a year. Employment allowance, right? It's basically allowing smaller companies to reduce their NI liability. It's going to be increased from £5,000 to £10,500. Also, another thing, just regards to the employer national insurance, I want you to look at how they tackled it as well. 15% on salaries above £5,000. So now the threshold has gone down. So people who are going to be hit the hardest will be people on the bottom end, because that's where the threshold has been moved from 9,100, when the contributions would have been 13.8% on salaries. It's now gone up to 15%, but the threshold, it starts now much lower at £5,000. This is why they're able to raise so much money. The tax paid by private equity managers on share profits from successful deals, that's going to rise from 28% to 32%. That's coming from April. Again, many people may not care because it's not you, it's businesses and whatever. But again, please bear in mind, a lot of these businesses, they're in positions of power where they will not want to reduce their profits. They will always pass the cost on to you. Always. The main rate of corporation tax is well paid by businesses and taxable profits over £250,000. That's going to be staying. That's going to be staying at 25% until the next election. All right, wages. I already told you guys, I believe, at the beginning of this week about how there's been changes to the legal minimum wage and things of that nature, and how people will be benefiting, mainly apprentices. They're going to be getting the biggest bump. But the legal minimum wage now for over 21s, that's going to be rising from £11.44 to £12.21 per hour. This is from April. The 18 to 20-year-olds, that's going to go up from £8.60 to £10. This is part of a long-term plan to move towards a single rate, adult rate. So, obviously, like I just mentioned, you've got over 21s, they've got a certain band, 18 to 20s, they've got a certain band. Long term, they want to have it as a single adult rate. So from 18 years old, you all have the same sort of legal minimum wage. The basic and new state pension payments, that's going to be going up 4.1% next year. This is due to the whole triple lock thing. I've mentioned that a few times on the show about what that is. Basically just to secure what pensioners get. Eligibility has widened for the allowance paid to full-time carers. And so they've done this by increasing the maximum earnings threshold from £151 to £195 a week. So that's obviously a good thing for people who are eligible for that. With regards to transport, because remember, you have to think about where your money is going. Like the money that comes through your pay slip may be the same, but if everything that you need, that you depend on, that you're buying has gone up, what really is the difference? The 5p cut in fuel duty on petrol and diesel brought in by the Tories, that's due to end next year, April. But Rachel Reeves has kept that for another year, so that's a good thing. £2 cap on single bus fares. I mentioned this yesterday and the day before. That's going to rise to £3 from January, outside of London anyway, and Greater Manchester. So it may not affect a lot of you, but some people it will. This is why I'm not saying, I'm not too sure how much significance that's actually going to have, but that's what the change is. There's now a new commitment to fund the tunnelling work to take the HS2 high-speed rail from Euston in central London. I believe Sunak was talking about ending it where it is, because it just feels like the money's just going down the drain. Why continue to take it all the way up? So anyway, they want to complete it and start it from Euston. That's obviously going to cost a lot of money. The government says they're looking to secure the delivery of the Transpennine rail upgrade between York and Manchester after reports that ministers were looking to cut costs in those particular areas. Apparently, some people said, listen, when you actually go there, there's actually nothing there. It's literally just barren land. Like, it's going to be part of the track that's going to be electrified, part of the track that's going to be relying on the old school way of driving the trains. And it's just a lack of investment there. So I think that's why she wants to put certain amount of money there to get that sorted. For the drinkers and the smokers out there, it's going to be a new flat rate tax of £2.20 per 10 mil of vaping liquid, right? This is introduced from October 2026. So the ministers are pretty much trying to get rid of the Tories' plan to link this particular tax, this levy, to nicotine content. So remember, the Tories are talking about vaping and all that stuff is just bad. We want to basically put certain things in place so that people kind of move away from it. It becomes too expensive to continue the bad habit, right? Tax on tobacco as well, that's going to be increasing by 2% above inflation and 10% above inflation for hand-rolling tobacco. So if you're a hand-rolling tobacco man, expect 10% on top, right? Above inflation, by the way, above inflation. There's going to be... all the other taxes like sugar tax and all that sort of stuff, the government is going to be reviewing the thresholds for those things like the sugar tax and soft drinks, and they may consider extending it to the whole milk-based beverages as well. So I don't even know if that includes like nourishment and nutriment and them type of drinks there and your protein shakes, I'm not too sure. But basically the sugar tax there, that's on the soft drinks, they want to put that in there too. So this is another way for them to take your money. So when you rely on them protein milk drinks after your gym session, you'll be paying more for it too. Factor that into your gym membership. So, next thing as well, government spending and public services. This is another area where people are saying the government's kind of lacking in and more money needs to be pushed there. So day-to-day spending on NHS, like I mentioned before, and on education in England, that's risen by 4.7% in real terms this year, right? Defence spending, That always goes up, and that's going to be rising by £2.9 billion next year. The Home Office budget, that's going to be shrinking by 3.1% this year and 3.3% next year in real terms, due to the assumed savings from the asylum system. With regards to housing, because some of the details here may not be relevant or you may not care, so let me just get on to housing. Social housing providers, they will be allowed to increase rents above inflation. Right, let me say that again. Social housing providers, they will be allowed to increase rents above inflation under this new multi-year settlement. A lot of you felt as though Labour may sort something out, may bring in a rent cap, may do this, that, and the third to help and make it better for people during this cost of living. They have allowed social housing providers to increase their rents above inflation. The discount for social housing tenants who want to buy their properties. So I know a lot of people who support Labour, part of our community, that want to buy their properties, that big up the right to buy scheme. The discount is now reduced. I don't know exactly how much it's being reduced by. I can get that if you guys are interested. But the discount that a lot of you obviously bigged up and maybe were saving towards, that discount has now reduced. So you now need to find more money to buy your house if you're a social housing tenant and you live in an area where right to buy scheme is still functional. Stamp duty charges paid on second homes in England and Northern Ireland, that's going to be going up from 3% to 5%. So that's another thing, man. If black people who maybe saw buying a property or multiple properties, adding properties to the portfolio as a way to start generational wealth, pass something on to their families, stamp duty is going up, and that will now make it harder for you to do so. Point at which house buyers start paying stamp duty on their main home now. That's going to be dropping from £250,000 to £125,000. So this is going to be happening in April. This will be reversing a previous tax cut. So let me say that again so it's clear. Normally, you on your first property or on your main home, I should say, you start paying stamp duty from £250,000 and above. So if you bought a house that was less than that, you wouldn't pay no stamp duty on that. Well, Labour had the bright idea to tell you you're now going to start paying stamp duty on a property from £125,000. I don't know where any of you have seen a property that costs £125. So anyway, £125,000. So you're going to be paying that much. The threshold at which first-time buyers now will pay the tax will also drop back as well. So first-time buyers, they will spend, they have to pay, well, they were paying on the first £425,000. That has now gone down to £300,000. So again, just to make it plain, I'm not trying to be condescending in any type of way, but just want it to be easy to understand. If you was buying a house, if you plan to buy a house in London, for example, you found your dream house at 400k, nice 3-bedroom, whatever, two bed, whatever it may be, and you didn't have to pay your stamp duty, that will now change because that house is now £100,000 higher than the threshold at which first-time buyers pay tax. So you'll be paying your deposit, you'll be paying your solicitor fees, and you'll be paying stamp duty on your first home above 300k. Please factor that in. So I'll leave that sort of stuff there. The OBR, so they're the watchdog that Jeremy Hunt was talking about. They predict the UK economy is going to be growing by 1.1% this year. Now, compared to the Tory time, I believe they were predicted like 0.8%. So this is definitely a good thing based on this particular thing here. They were also saying it will grow by 2% the next year, and then by 2026, it will go down to 1.8%. The issue is here is that, yes, you get the growth initially, but you have to look at the amount of money that's being spent to get that initial boost in growth. Because as forecasted, the years after, growth pretty much becomes stagnant. It doesn't continue growing like this, or at least whatever. It goes like this, drops, and just stays. Now, Labour's response to that is basically, well, this is not the only budget we're going to bring out. This is just the first budget. So we may obviously change certain things to boost growth again in year 2, year 3, whatever it may be. But as of right now, this is what the watchdog, the independent watchdog, the OBR, have basically said they pretty much forecasted. That is Yeah, that's some of the main things. Inflation is predicted to average at 2.5% this year. It's going to go up to 2.6% next year, and then they're forecasting that it will drop again to 2.3% in 2026. I also want to mention something as well, that the OBR disagreed. So this is another perspective. I know a lot of people kind of listen to what the OBR says as well as independent economic analysts and stuff. But the OBR disagreed with Labour's idea that more people have more money in their pockets, given that this whole thing, boosting spending, borrowing, and also not touching their taxes, the direct taxes, the NI, their VAT and income in their pay slips and whatnot, will be better for people, right? But the OBR disagrees. And like I said earlier, they're saying that the NI contribution increases will likely hit people's pockets and it will reduce employment. They also said that this spending increase, this spending spree that Rachel Reeves and the Labour government have gone on now, will then add inflation will add inflation to this scenario. And I remember under the Tories, inflation was like about 11%. I remember about a year and a half ago, 2 years almost, I was saying, guys, inflation is projected at hitting as high as 15 to 17%. It went as high as 11, 12%, I believe. But Sunak and the Tories, they brought it down to 2%. That's roughly where it is now. OBR is basically saying, with all this increased spending, you risk increasing inflation. I've said this before for the longest while. This is what happens. Inflation comes from this increased spending, printing more money. You know what I'm saying? Increases, all this sort of stuff. This is what happens. And so the Bank of England, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because if inflation does rise, the Bank of England will feel like they need to keep interest rates high. That's the implications of this. Inflation goes up, you pay for more things, of course, higher amounts for more things. But the Bank of England will say, okay, cool, to kind of curb this, we're going to keep the interest rates high. What does that mean? That means your mortgage rates are going to be high. That means borrowing rates are going to be higher. So all these things that you may depend on an everyday basis to just better your life and just live will become more. So the amount of money in your pay packet that you take home, as much as it may remain the same, right? It's going to be eroded with all the things that you need to buy, man. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm probably going to go into a few other things, repeat myself again tomorrow, but this is basically what it's looking like right now for this new budget. Like I said, big them up, though, for trying to put more money into the NHS. I believe they wanted to put in, is it 22 billion or 40 billion pounds into the NHS? But the reality is, and again, this is not Labour's fault, they haven't been in government for 14 years, but the reality is, with all the increased costs in the NHS, wages and things of that nature, a big chunk of that money is going to be swallowed up. So where's the real amount of money that's going to go into actually changing the NHS, improving services, reducing wait times? You know what I'm saying? All of that sort of stuff that's going to improve the actual service you get when you go to your hospitals, your doctors. Where's that going to come from? So people are also predicting that Rachel Reeves may have to come back to us and say, guys, yes, we did this. We sorted out the wages of our hard-working NHS staff, but we may need more money to actually invest in the NHS again, to actually improve the service that you get from the NHS and reduce waiting times and things of that nature. So long story short, we need reform. And hopefully Labour can do this, because at the end of the day, it affects everybody. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the only thing I think I need to mention. Regarding SMEs, the small and medium-sized enterprises, those businesses, apparently they make up 61% of the workforce in this country. So bear this in mind. When they're getting hit with these higher NI contributions, they will pass this on. I'm just saying that again to remind everyone of how everything's going to affect you in a real practical way. But yeah, if I missed anything, guys, let me know in the Discord, and tomorrow I'll let you guys know. Or if you want to know a bit more information about a particular thing that will affect you in a particular way, or if it will, let me know, and I'll let you guys know on the show. But hopefully you guys got everything I was saying. But that's pretty much it for the People's Journal, guys.
What are we doing next? Headlines.
Mm-hmm. All right, people. So our last set of headlines, man. A judge ordered all parties, including Elon Musk, to attend a court hearing in Philadelphia on Thursday in a lawsuit seeking to stop a political action committee controlled by the billionaire from awarding $1 million to registered US voters in the battleground states before the 5th of November election. Remember, I think it was like 2 days ago that I mentioned this, how Elon Musk is giving away $1 million every day, I believe, to people who live in those battleground states if they basically fill out questionnaires or if they vote for something. I can't remember exactly the details, but this is basically what they're looking into. So the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office filed a lawsuit on Monday, and basically it called this giveaway, which was put out there by Musk's America PAC, which backs Donald Trump, an illegal lottery, this is what they're saying, that entices Pennsylvania residents to share personal data. A judge wrote on Wednesday in the order with the County Court of Common Pleas that it is further ordealed that all parties must be present at the time of the hearing. And this hearing in the case was moved up from Thursday morning to Friday. A representative for APAC, America PAC, did not immediately respond to a request for comment, and Musk's representatives have not responded to requests for comment as well. Next thing I want to mention is a YouTube channel belonging to Saint West, who is the eldest son of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, vanished on Wednesday after 2 posts which were critical of Vice President Kamala Harris were on their account a day before. So the 8-year-old's YouTube account, which is under the handle The Goat Saint, was taken down allegedly by Kim Kardashian, the mum, 43 years old, according to a report from the Daily Beast Wednesday in the wake of the politically charged posts. The reality star said last month that in allowing Saint to have a channel on the platform, she made him agree to a contract. And so this contract, posted on the September 3rd on Kardashian's Instagram story, said, I, Saint West, agree to follow my mom's rules in order to have a YouTube channel.
Aww.
I'm not allowed to comment any personal family information. Good on you. It also continued, I must show my mom or guardian all videos before I post them. What about dad? Anyway, I give
Guardian.
him... Why can't it be mum and dad and guardian?
Because the dad doesn't take care of the kid.
Oh.
If the dad wants to
Is that
if
true?
the dad wants the child, then you take care of the kid.
But remember, they were stopping him from trying to see his kids.
No, but the main carer is the mum. But because when he's watching them, he's saying them the mum has diarrhea. And he has a Ozempic. So
Maybe she... Is there truth in the matter? Or is this
no,
perception?
it's not about that. You need to be responsible when you've got kids that are going for a divorce. You can't be doing wars, parent wars. So what did the post?
It was basically just about Kamala Harris.
So he posted it.
Yeah, the boy.
Isn't it boy that's 6?
8. Yeah, 8-year-old. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Isn't Kim endorsing Kamala as well?
I believe so, yeah.
So was it in favor of Kamala?
I'm not too sure, you know.
Because I don't know how an 8-year-old... What does he know? Because he can't even spell Kamala.
Yeah. But yeah, I think maybe she just wanted him away from politics, innit?
Yeah, but
Before
how
people start,
was he...
you know.
If the contract said he was going to show
Him, that's true.
Kim... Still give... The devil works hard. Kris Jenner works harder.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it also said in the contract, I give permission to any grown-up if my mom says to delete my video for any reason. If I don't listen to all of my rules, all of the rules, mom could make my page private or delete my account. So that's basically what's happened. Yeah, so basically there's a number of ex-users who tied his posts to his father's long-standing Trump support as well. So that's pretty much why. And the last thing I want to mention is trigger warning on this, guys. Big trigger warning on this one. 8 people, including a 3-year-old child, were killed in a brutal attack by suspected cult members in Uganda. This is what authorities have confirmed yesterday. The assault took place late Tuesday night in Mizizi, which is a small village in Kagadi district, which is about 250 kilometers west of Kampala, which is the capital of Uganda. According to the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the attackers, who are believed to be members of a new unidentified cult, targeted relatives and community members using bladed weapons in the attack. Security forces, including police and military units, are actively searching for the perpetrators as investigations continue to uncover details about the cult. 8 other people were injured in the incident, with 4 of the deceased under the age of 13. Security forces also reportedly killed 2 of the suspected attackers as they responded to the violence as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the headlines, man. It's time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into the reaction. Girl, same.
I'm coming, yeah. Almost finished.
Same, sister.
I'm coming. All right, guys. So, welcome to the reaction. Let me just read off some of the scores, the results of that happened in the Carabao Cup yesterday. So, Brighton lost at home to Liverpool, 3-2. Aston Villa lost at home as well to Crystal Palace, 2-1. Man United. Brent, is this because Ten Hag is gone? Or is this a game they should have?
That's their real level, bro.
Wow. So they beat Leicester City 5-2.
This is it.
Newcastle beat Chelsea at home 2-0. Arsenal did what they needed to do against Preston North End, beat them 3-0. And Tottenham knocked out, I believe, Man City 2-1. So they won at home 2-1 against Man City. Yeah, so like I said, they knocked them out. Tottenham are advancing to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. Werner and Sarr scored for Spurs, and Nunez netted a goal for Man City as well. And yeah, so this is basically Man City's first loss, I believe. They were unbeaten up until this point and from the start of the season. So now Tottenham will now face Man United in the quarterfinals. So we'll see what happens there, man. Maybe with Nistelrooy as the interim manager, they might be able to get that win. Liverpool as well, they came from behind to beat Brighton, by the way, 3-2. Gakpo scored twice in the second half for Liverpool, and Diaz was also on target. Yeah, Liverpool are now going to be facing Southampton in the quarterfinals. And the Reds are looking to win the Carabao Cup for the first time since 2012. So let's see if they can make that happen. Everybody's kind of still in it except Man City. So it's going to be tough, but we'll see what happens, man. But that's pretty much it for the reaction.
All right. Well, it's the end of the show. Let's wrap it up.
Breaking news.
What happened?
I believe Anarim is now officially
serious?
the United manager.
Interesting.
But we'll take over on the 24th of November.
Okay.
Big up Chijoke. You don't remember Chijoke for the breaking news he gives you.
I'm telling you.
I'm talking to you. Big up Chijoke, man.
Thank you, Chijoke. It could only be you, my friend.
Only you. Yes. Only one, man.
All right, people. It's been a good show, man. Of course, this was the last day for Black History Month. Hope you guys felt edified and uplifted by some of the pioneers, the unsung heroes that we bigged up from the beginning of this month, man. Today, we bigged up the legendary figures of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the great Nikki Giovanni. Today, look them up, man. You'll be blessed for doing so. We also spoke about the OBR and their response to the budget that Rachel Reeves dropped. Obviously, I spoke about that in great detail in the People's Journal. I hope you guys took notes and actually can see how what they've laid out, how it will affect you in a real practical way. You know what I'm saying? We also spoke about Russia and how they want to find Google more than the entire world's GDP for blocking some of the YouTube accounts. And we also spoke about the first case of mpox being detected in the UK. We also spoke about the legacy of British colonialism, legacy of British imperialism, and if the British Empire should be given any sort of credit for some of the things they did back home in Africa and some of the other countries around the world where Aboriginal people were displaced, killed, raped, and pillaged. Because for some reason, Mr. James Rees-Mogg believes so. In fact, he believes people in the Caribbean should actually be paying the British Empire back for what they did during colonialism. Next thing we spoke about also was about the US warning Israel over Gaza aid because the deadline is basically nearing. The deadline is going to be on the 12th of November. But you and I know that US are not going to enforce any damn thing. You know what I'm saying? They are in cahoots. And we also spoke about the sad news of that toddler who passed away basically, man, after being hit by a car in North London. And we spoke about the US basically warning the North Korean troops for fighting in the Russia-Ukraine war, saying, listen, if you get involved, I guarantee you, you'll surely return in body bags. They don't want this war to expand any more than it basically has already. We also spoke about the judge ordering Elon Musk to appear in the Philadelphia court because of these $1 million giveaways that's been organized by his APAC. His whatever it is, but by APAC that he runs. Spoke about saints St. West's YouTube channel. So if you guys are following it out there, that's the reason why you ain't gonna see no posts for a while. And we also spoke about the sad news that happened in Uganda, where this cult has now, just for no good reason, just killed 8 people for just ridiculously. Of course, in Word and Road, Esther gave us the lowdown on what's happening with Ari Lennox.
Sure did.
Spoke about Ray J. You know what I'm saying? Being caught up in the situation.
Asses out. Oh. God, we had a kid in the audience. My bad. But she can't hear me good.
Yeah, Ray J.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Sorry, do you remember that video years ago when he was during that sweet pea time, the barbecue one time? Do you remember the guy that was like, hide your wives, hide your kids, hide your husbands? Ray J said, hide your asses.
Ray J is wild.
I need to keep that video. I need to even airdrop it to myself now. I love that video so much.
Oh man, but yeah, he spoke about that, and Chris Brown being the, the peacemaker, separating Diddy's sons from fighting.
Can you imagine?
Ray
Who would have
J,
thought?
you know what I mean? He spoke about Zoe Kravitz breaking up with what's his name? Channing Tatum. You know what I'm saying?
White man.
Yeah, that white man. Free Zoe and that, and he spoke about.
So good dude. Which I don't know. He's like a wholesome. Channing Tatum's a wholesome white guy, you know. Always does like films like Dear John and stuff. Like he's very like wholesome. He ain't never done anything crazy. Channing Tatum is go on. Magic Mike, white guy.
Blink twice.
I'm Blink twice. I don't know what it is. I know it's a film, right?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
I ain't seen it, man.
Is he bad in that?
Is he what?
Is he bad in that?
Yeah. He's teeth in
Yeah, but you just love him sometimes, you know.
Teeth in nanny.
Serious?
Yeah, drugging and then teeth in nanny. If it's the same Channing Tatum.
There's only one
in
Channing
my head,
Tatum.
he's
Don't
like,
you dare. There's only one Channing Tatum. So if you know damn
well,
well,
I
probably
say
him.
if it's the same person. In my head, I have a picture of who Channing Tatum is.
He's a white guy.
Yes, he's white.
And he's like muscular and built and bold. Well, not bold. Sometimes he acts bold.
Let me Google him.
Let me Google him. I was going to get him for you.
Let me Google him.
He doesn't act bold. He just, when he acts in certain roles, he's bold.
Or low trim.
Yeah. Channing Tatum. Good looking guy.
Channing Tatum. Yeah, this is the fella.
That's the fella.
Yeah.
Blink Twice is new, I swear.
Teeth and nanny.
Is okay. Isn't Blink Twice new?
Yes.
I ain't never heard it.
I've seen it it's on Netflix, right? I've seen the ad.
Yes.
I'll watch it.
It's good. It's good.
We also spoke about the People's Journal and basically what Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, and put some respect on her name, basically has rolled out for us. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens, guys. And again, we'll be chatting about that tomorrow as well.
Is this the job they gave Casey Quatting that time and then he got fired?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I wish him the best, to be fair, because at the end of the day...
And Casey, what's he doing now?
No. I don't know what he's doing now.
I know what he's not doing. He's putting people on.
Yeah, man. For real. Inside joke, guys.
It wasn't.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
They don't know. Don't make a scene.
Yeah, man.
They're not gonna catch on.
Said it on
They're
air.
not. Oh, look what you done.
It's not an inside joke.
This is no.
That's the definition.
But he
of
never
an
said
outside joke.
Okay. All right.
An on-air joke.
Terrible. Asked quite a few times, but obviously we don't have time. But he basically said there was some beef or friction between the Honourable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X.
Oh, not your ghost fighting. What happened?
No, it was just
Little tussle.
we can maybe go into it another day, but
Not the boys is fighting. I know the freedom fighters. They're running days.
yeah, people have disagreements on where things should go. You know what I mean? And there were some rumors at the time.
So you knew about this and you kept this off. You should tell me. You should
It
have put it on Where the Road.
It wasn't necessary. No,
This is Where the Road.
This happened in the 60s.
Oh, no one cares.
He just wanted to know like what happened between them, basically.
Oh, okay.
But long story short, what you do need to know, the most important thing is that afterwards, Malcolm X wanted to come back to the nation. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, that's not what matters. What happened?
Yeah, there was just some
What
disagreement.
was the tussle about?
Basically, one of the sons of the Honourable Elijah Muhammad went around spreading this particular rumor that Elijah Muhammad had some children outside of wedlock.
One of his sons was spreading that about his dad.
Yes, because basically there was conflict between the two of them. He would leave the nation, come back, and a lot of it was based on doctrine.
Okay.
But that was one of the things. And so he went and spoke to Malcolm. And so Malcolm at the time, there were some other things going on as well. And so Malcolm basically kind of did what he wouldn't normally do. And he went and...
kind of a family mess.
Exactly. He got involved in another man's business. He went and saw the women to verify. He said, yeah, he believed it. It's all written in his autobiography and everything.
Malcolm was a little blogger. It was shade room.
And then he went back to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to confront him about it.
What's your own?
Yeah, because he basically saying, as our religious guide, you know what I mean? Like, how does this work? You know what I'm saying? Does this work in our belief system? And so, obviously, I won't go into the details if you guys are fully interested.
Is he Muslim?
Yeah, Nation of Islam.
But don't Muslims allow multiple wives in that?
Yeah, there you go. And this is what the minister, Louis Farrakhan, said years later. He basically said these were wives of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? And so, it was basically not...
The wives got to know their wives though. Like, imagine someone telling me I'm a wife here, but...
No, but they came out. He actually brought them on stage. He actually
he
brought them out on stage and also brought the children as well.
You know who I would love to sit down with? I'd love to sit down with the first wife of these situations.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because in my household, no one's getting married.
But yeah, basically that was some of the disagreement that happened. And basically on top of that, because he did that, Malcolm also went out of his way. He felt wronged when he was actually the one in the wrong. What's going on? Okay, 1 second, yeah? I'm coming.
Okay, all right. Well,
yeah.
The Queen Boss has spoken.
But yeah, all I'll say is that he went out of his way to basically to say to basically what's the word? Basically
reconcile the situation.
That was at the end, basically, before his untimely death. But there was a time where basically he was suspended because Elijah Muhammad basically told everyone in the nation, do not speak out about JFK.
Yeah.
He's just been assassinated. Do not now double on and say white people. You see what you do now is come back to get you.
Yeah, don't do that.
Malcolm got excited.
And did it.
He did it. And then he was reprimanded for it and he was suspended.
Okay,
and during that suspension, coupled with the other allegations...
Yeah, you're just a problem these days.
There you go. And that's basically what happened. And so he partied. He went and went over to the more orthodox side of Islam, which is what every Muslim likes to remind me of. But then he came back to the nation. And
what side did you go to?
To the more orthodox side. So he went to Mecca and all that sort of stuff.
Islam. It's crazy how it's different things, by the way.
Yeah.
How it's different Islams.
Yeah, it's just like doctrine. It's just
sound like a white racist there, but you know, it makes sense.
It's just kind of just how Baptist different to Methodist, different to Pentecostal. It's just doctrinal.
That's true because
everyone's different. The core of it is still the same, but you know, certain differences. But anyway, that's all I was going to say. I hope that makes sense. Enoch.
What says she's tired of hearing about Elijah Muhammad?
The patent differences.
What do you mean?
With Islam and NY as opposed to the denominations in Christianity.
I mean, yeah, but I mean. What do you mean, though?
You just compared it to Christianity.
Yeah, because it's still Islam, but it's just different.
So NY is a denomination of Islam?
They wouldn't call it a denomination of Islam. They would say
that's what I just said. It's
Islam.
patently different.
No, but it's still Islam. That's what I'm basically trying to say to you.
But
from somebody outside, you would see them as Islam. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Sunni Islam, Shia Islam.
Yeah, that's how I see the denominations, the Sunni and the Shia. But you're saying it's NOI too?
Yes.
Oh, serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's real Islam.
So they actually acknowledge them?
Some do. When you have conversations and you understand, because a lot of people believe a particular thing about their nation based on what they see all over the place, but they don't understand the doctrine. You know what I'm saying?
So in Islam, Elijah Muhammad is a prophet?
In what? In Orthodox Islam?
How about NOI? Is he a prophet?
He's a messenger. He's not a messenger.
Okay.
No,
how about
a messenger?
Islam? Do they see him as a messenger?
Probably not. No, they don't see him as a messenger.
When you say probably, are you?
No, they don't. Sure? They don't see him as a messenger.
Because I think you know that
they don't. They don't see him as a messenger.
Right.
They see Prophet Muhammad Ibn Abdullah as the last prophet and messenger of Allah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But again, that's just a doctrinal thing. Just like Ahmadiyya as well, they see Ghulam Ahmad as Ghulam Ahmad.
Ghulam Ahmad.
Yeah. As the Mahdi. You know what I'm saying? That was meant to return, but it's still a branch in Islam.
Okay.
That's basically what it is. But anyway,
denomination it is.
Yes. Big up the nation every time, man.
All right. Well, follow us on socials, please. The Day After TNB on X, on Discord, on TikTok, and on Instagram. Did you tell people we're meant to have a guest today? Someone asked. Yeah, we're meant to have a guest today, but sadly our guest isn't feeling well.
Yes.
It would actually be good to tell. Did you tell people to watch the show?
Yeah, I told him yesterday. But yes, if you haven't, you've got an opportunity now to watch it now and over the weekend. He will be with us next week, God willing. Early next week. So watch it on the weekend if you can. White Nanny, Black Child.
Really good show.
Yep.
Really good. Really good show, man. It was, It was really interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, follow us on socials. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. All that great stuff. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for the 1st of November. Also Friday.
Yes.
When you do it. Hallelujah.
Thank God.
Hallelujah. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Peace.